Live. Checking all the audios and everything, making sure everything is good. See if the resolution. Oh, that's right. I want to pop out chat. Wrong one. I'm gonna drop this over on your guys' side. There. Okay. So we can see the chat. So, somebody want to do sound check for me real quick while we're working on this?
I'll get that.
Just to make sure that everything looks and sounds good.
Oh, different camera.
Yeah, see.
Nice that you're working.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Am I sounding?
You sound fine.
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. And people know that we are live.
Yeah, be careful.
So,
there we go.
Let me just pop my neck a little bit. Alright. Alright, so, what's up, nerds, and welcome back to tonight's episode of Starships and Sarlaccs.
Yes!
I am the Game Master, Austin, as always, and I am joined by Mercedes.
Hello.
Lean in, you're not on camera.
Hello! Or, aren't we on that? Oh, yeah, I guess it's still on there.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hello. Morgan.
Hello!
Brent.
Hello.
Paul.
That's me.
And Alex.
Hello.
And as well as Lindsay. And Spencer. And Shayla.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Be sure to speak up. It appears the microphone's having a tad issue of picking you guys up.
Okay.
See if we can't move it a little bit closer to us.
Right.
There we go.
So, anyway. Thank you for everybody who's joining us. Before we begin, we're going to have a few announcements here. We posted today at Instagram, and in case you haven't noticed, we are in what we were calling the 10 Days of Mordor, where... Sorry, we have a different camera setup for these people here. It is up over here. There's my finger. Hello. That is to try to fix the syncing problem I noticed we had on previous streams with their Discord camera. So they're up here. And so we might have some issues with this camcorder being stupid, and I'm too lazy to try to figure it out right now. We've already had so many issues tonight because we're starting late. So anyway, 10 Days of Mordor, where every day, today, in fact, one should be up a couple hours ago, we are releasing the final 10 episodes of Shadow of War because we managed to complete the main 3 acts of the story and are going into the epilogue soon. I will make a quick note. The last 3 episodes will have slightly lower quality than the others because somehow settings got tweaked on OBS when we recorded them, and I think the bitrate was lower, and so it's a little less high quality. I apologize for that. I hope it can still turn out good when I finish editing them. And this is all leading up to Thankmas, which is coming up here pretty darn soon.
Yes. Yeah.
You might notice, for those of y'all in chat, there is a little, on the upper right-hand side of the chat, there's a little thing for a, should be kind of like a link to our Tiltified Nerdmas Thankmas donation. It's not active just yet, because we want to save that for Thankmas. We of course won't turn down any donations at this point, but we're building up to Thankmas, and we're going to have a good stream. Thus far, here is our plan for Thankmas. We'll be starting around 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here in the United States. And this may be news to the 3 of you because we hadn't had a chance to discuss this because I've been busy, and I apologize for that. But our plan is to start the day with online bits. So Golf with Your Friends, Minecraft, Among Us, and other suggestions or options so that everybody, especially you guys, can get it, can be there. We don't have to worry about this whole weird thing about people being here and then having laptops or computers that they'll need to go into separate rooms for to try to make work. So we're going to start Thankmas with the online stuff so that way y'all can join us, especially then. And if we have time later, we'll go into Shadow of War and try to do the Shadow Wars. I'm not sure if we'll have time for that. I know I've been saying we're going to do that, but as of right now, I'm not sure how much of an option that is going to be, so be aware we might not actually be doing Shadow of War on the stream. We might save that for a different stream.
We'll create an itinerary.
Yeah, we're going to make an itinerary. We're going to have a discussion about it. And then in the evening, we will cap it all off with our Starships and Sarlaccs stream for that night, because it is next Saturday.
Woohoo!
Our goal is $1,000. That is our basically ultimate goal. We only have 3 goals. We have our initial goal of $100 just to see if we can maybe make that. And we're thinking of maybe doing something a little different than what we've been saying. If we hit $500, we will air Thickmas on the stream.
Oh.
We're maybe thinking of trying. Alex and I talked about it a little bit. We're thinking of maybe filming it during the week, and then airing it on the stream. If we hit the $500, if we don't, we're still gonna air it because honestly, we just want to do thickness. We'll just do it after the stream.
Thick water and thickener coming
Yes,
our
thick
way
water
in the
and
mail
thickener.
right now. So.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then if we hit the $1,000, Alex and I will wax our legs, and we will also do that on video. And if we reach above $1,000, great. We don't have any stretch goals for it, but we'll be thinking just in case. We'll see how things are going. Thank you for everyone who's in the chat right now, by the way. I see you guys over there on the right. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for everybody who's not in the chat that is also joining us. We encourage you to please chat. We like interacting with you guys. We like hearing your feedback on how things are going.
We've got Shayla's mom and then
Yes.
my Tumblr friend in Argentina.
Yes. Thank you guys always for joining us, and thank you for everyone who's already joining us. If you haven't followed us, please follow us. And
On Twitch and Instagram.
on Twitch and on Instagram, and
And on
subscribe
YouTube.
to our YouTube channel, the Nerd Herd 90s. Basically, it's all the same handle. We're putting out a lot of content, and we like doing it, and this is just incentive for us to keep doing it. And we want to hear your suggestions, and we're going to try to get better at doing things, doing some research to try to do better streams and everything like that. Once again, I'm sorry for the tardiness. We had a bit of technical difficulties getting here. So I'm making sure that's fine. I'm just going to tap it again just to be sure. Just to keep it on. So, is there anything else you need to talk about?
Don't think so.
All right. Yes.
No?
Let's talk about our feelings.
Yeah, that's what you're about to do on your starship. So, if that's all, we will jump into tonight's episode of Starships and Sarlaccs.
Starship. We're gonna make a theme song.
All right, Sam.
I said we talked about that last time.
Yes. All right. So, where we last left off, the crew of the Stargazer had a little downtime on Carrick Station of the Republic Fleet. They met Boomy and Turk of Boomy's Starship Modifications Emporium, and managed to procure a number of starship upgrades for their starship, the Stargazer. They also met, Dward, the Weequay Irish weaponsmith/salesman. Commissioned a few weapon upgrades, which all of you now have, by the way, in case you forgot. You do have those upgrades.
Yeah.
And you also met Val and Shola. One second, Alex. The armor smith/fashionista aboard the station. Some of you got some new clothing and new headdresses or headgear, whatever you want to call it, and also some armor upgrades were had. 10,000 credits was won by Kota in a game of Pizak. A very lucky game of Pizak. It was very well done.
All skills.
And after all of you decided to help out with Boomy and his team upgrading your starship, you managed to cut off, I think, about 5 days' time off of your estimated modification time. So now you've got some downtime. You went to the Bounty Brokers Association, where you re-met Reller, the Mandalorian bounty hunter who aided you in a previous battle on the planet of Terrace. He vouched for you, said these guys are good at what they do, and you got some bounty options, and discovered one of the bounty options was a missing person, a Zabrak female who turned out to be the sister of your resident undercover Imperial operative that none of you know about, named Ravrii.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
you decided to take that bounty to go to Alderaan, and you would do that bounty to try to get some extra cash, maybe upgrade your ship some more. And last we left off, you guys had just left Carrick Station and were in hyperspace, beginning the 9-hour trek to Alderaan.
So we got a new hyperdrive, right? Are we there yet?
Kota, it's not that fast. It'll still take 9 hours.
What?
Though trust me, with the last one we had, it would take a whole lot longer. So we're lucky it's even 9 hours.
What's the point of it all?
You are very impatient.
Yes.
It's off.
I wanted to try and cast a calm emotion on Ravrii,
She is
That's
tasting in the cargo hold.
if I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do so. I believe it's a saving throw for Ravrii.
Clam those
Yeah,
emotions.
let me pull
'Cause
up my.
I assume she is not a willing creature at this moment.
It's kind of up to you if you want to be willing to accept it or not.
That is
He's
true.
not really focused on it, so. I mean.
Fight.
Let me see. So, calm emotions is, I'm pretty sure
Second
it is
level?
a charisma saving throw, and if you want, you can choose to fail it. But
Okay.
it's up to you whether or not you want to fail it.
Heck, I failed.
Okay.
And you
So-
fail.
8, 9.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely failed. So essentially kind of what I want to do is just like kind of come up to her like in front of her. Maybe just like facing her forward. And I kind of want to just like reach out my hands and just kind of like touch the edges of her shoulders. And then as I do that, cast the spell. Use the force power to just kind of like, with that touch, just kind of like try to settle her a little bit. So, I mean, the ability of it, I can suppress being frightened, essentially. So that's what I'm trying to do, is like trying to keep you from being so frightened and scared. It's like, Ravrii, you need to have a level head.
Thank you.
You're right.
Sorry for the camera thing. Continue.
You need to have a level head. I know that this is a very stressful situation for you, but you need to be calm.
Thank you, Aeta. It's just understandably shocking to find out that your sister is missing by way of a bounty.
Yes, I'm sure that that is a very stressful thing to experience. And we are all here with you in this situation. Okay? You are not going through it alone. We will do our best to find her.
Thank you.
When did you last have contact with your sister?
10 years ago, when I left home.
Oh, goodness.
Do you have contact? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have contact currently with anyone who would know of her whereabouts?
I haven't been home in those 10 years. I've avoided going back.
And I will say, as part of the bounty, the captain, whose name escapes me at the moment, like gave you the bounty, also gave you a data pad with information on like last known location, local contacts, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And her parents are listed as two of those people. They're also the bounty providers. So
Dex was given all that information.
Okay. Well, why don't we explore the information that we have and see if anything sounds familiar to you or what piques your interest?
Right?
Do you not have continuing communication with your family? Because I'm trying to understand why they would not have informed you of your sister's disappearance.
That's a bit complicated. I
Familial
left
trouble?
I left home without telling anyone.
That
I
would do
have-
it.
I had a brief communication with my parents after I left to let them know that I was still alive at least, but that I had no intention of going home.
I see.
And that was the last I ever spoke to them.
Do we have like a way to communicate with her parents? Like, do we have like a? I almost want to say like a phone number, but like not like a phone number.
a comm frequency.
Or
Yeah.
address?
There is not a comm frequency. There is basically a location given, and currently, since you're in hyperspace, there's no way to communicate with them.
Okay.
But it does say they are located at House Organa on Alderaan.
Okay.
There's also some local planetary information there.
Okay. Ravrii, does your family have connection to House Organa?
From what I remember, my father had a very small political campaign, I guess you could say. He was just a small time. We aligned ourselves with House Organa, but it wasn't like we were any big players.
Can I roll an insight check on that statement?
Yes, you may. Ravrii, how much have you been using your resources to keep up with your family at all, or have you been basically uninformed?
Uninformed.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't roll that well. I only got a 10.
I would say, she's kind of hard to read. She's got her emotions are kind of all over the place right now, and so you gather.
Well, I did try to suppress you, so that's
true. That's true. So I guess never mind about the emotions, but it seems as though she's trying to make sense of it, and there's nothing to indicate maybe, but you're not really sure.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're in some kind of we have like a conference room, right?
Best thing you have is either the area around the hollow table in the center of the ship, or there's the investigation suite that can function as such. There's not so much a conference area. I know there is in the game, but for ease of access for your ship, there is not one.
Okay, I would say we're probably. I don't know. I don't want to assume for the whole group, but I would say probably in the investigation suite, as this is a investigation we're going into.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
But Dex will have been sitting to the side, kind of going through the information, adding some stuff, and is going to then broadcast. I don't know, like a little hollow hollow
Hologram?
Projection.
Holo projection, hologram.
Yeah, like a projection, like in the middle of the room for all to see as we're kind of like sitting around this room.
Okay, what are you
with
projecting?
the gear. And Dex is going to start giving the briefing of first Alderaan itself, and talking about current climate, political, all that kind of information, basically.
Okay.
And then going into specifics on our contacts, just basically going through everything and making sure everyone is there on track and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I can give you that. So, current political climate is actually one of the top listed things on there because Alderaan is in the middle of a civil war. And I will give you the basic rundown of how that happened. So, 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, there was a Sith Lord by the name of Darth Malgus, who you guys are familiar with, who led a campaign on Alderaan and basically laid it to waste almost. Brought it to its knees very quickly, very effectively. However, Alderaan was liberated from the Empire by the Republic in an also very swift and decisive campaign. However, after the fact, the Crown Prince named Gal Pantir demanded or became an advocate for very swift and aggressive military action, which is the first time in Alderaan's history that they've ever been that sort of an advocate. They built a great number of defensive turrets and a lot of defensive structures, including a massive orbital cannon on the planet's surface that could shoot giant laser beams up into the sky. And not long after that, the Sith Empire attacked the capital of Coruscant and held it hostage and basically wrote up the Treaty of Coruscant, which basically turned a lot of things into the Empire's favor, and with really no other choice, the Republic signed the treaty because the Chancellor was dead. Coruscant was being held for ransom, so they had no choice but to sign the treaty. However, Crown Prince Gal Pantir was not particularly happy with the fact that they signed the treaty and stormed out of the Senate, and Alderaan seceded not long after that. With that, not long after that, Pantir was assassinated, and Alderaan's throne was left with no heir. That led to a division among the houses, where who was supposed to be king. They didn't know. They were trying to figure that out. And then eventually House Thule of Alderaan basically wanted to declare themselves as the rulers and brought in the Empire to help back their claim, and started a civil war by coming in with the Empire. As House Thule was backed by House Gerard, Cortes, and Kilessa, and the Republic started backing House Organa, House Terrell, House Alda, and House Pantir to try to not have the Empire control a planet so close to the core and to Coruscant. In the midst of this conflict, there was a man named Boris Olgo of House Olgo that was very upset that House Thule came back with the Empire, so he decided to usurp the throne and try to unite the rest of the houses against them. However, all of the houses saw that as an unjust act and decided, hey, we don't like you now. So House Olgo and another house named House Rist are sort of outliers, where Olgo and Rist control the throne, and the others are run by the Republic and the Empire and are currently at war with each other. So political climate is not very great there, and as such, Alderaan is sort of a neutral system where the Empire and Republic both have forces in a sort of technically we're not at war with each other, where we're not technically breaking the Treaty of Coruscant sort of deal. And that is the current political climate. In terms of contacts and where to go, Koga and Asta are currently at House Organa, at their main estate in the city. They are off of their House Organa is on a cliff near the Apollos coast, very high up the continent. It's about winter at this point, and also because of their elevation near the sea, there's a lot of cold and a lot of snow.
That's just peachy.
So they're located in the main estate at the moment, and
Do they have peaches in Star Wars?
we can say they do. If they have plum blossoms, they have peaches.
They have Sam.
And so, yes,
yeah,
they
we
do
know
have Sam.
that.
And so, as a result, so they are at House Organa at the main estate. It says that basically you can ask one of the aides for them, and they will bring you to them because they know they are expecting somebody from the association to come up and to help them. Was there anything else you wanted to know about what's been said?
Just again, did they give us last known location, or was that more of go
Last
see
known
them
lo-
and get more
Last known
information?
location was at the House Organa estate.
Okay.
And she disappeared from there. No one knows where.
Was she like? Do they think that she was abducted,
The
or
parents.
do you think that she just like left?
Yeah, say is she a runaway or has she been kidnapped?
From the information given, they're not sure. The parents are on the side of kidnapped, but
There's no evidence.
there's no evidence. No signs of struggle, nothing, but they are unsure.
What kind of role do her parents have? Like, because Ravrii told us that they were just kind of like low-level politicians. Like, do we have any details about like if this was like being kidnapped for ransom money or like?
Google search them and get back.
There
Can
is,
we, like,
yeah, there's
can
not
we
a lot
say-
in the data pad you were given, but if you'd like to roll a lore check, you may.
I'm really good at those. I would love to.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a lore check.
Can I say, like, can I help give her advantage? Like, maybe, like, use the HoloNet to kind of help pull up information as well?
That's a great idea. Go ahead and do that.
Hey, that's my shtick.
It's both your shtick.
I know.
Oh no, that one's cocked.
Well, I have a pointy stick.
Natural 20!
Woo!
So
Let's
that's a
roll the night,
28.
baby.
What was that?
That's a 28.
Yeah, I was about to
then.
say, I know you have a ridiculous lore. So
I think
lore
Cadence
is great.
is your good luck charm.
Cadence is a good luck charm.
It's like ridiculous lore.
Ridiculous lore, yes. So yeah, actually, as you're reading and as Dex is kind of like talking about what's on there, you're thinking, you're like, Koga, Asta, those names ring a bell, and you remember that in recent years, the names Koga and Asta, they are, especially because you're a Jedi, you've heard of them as basically representatives from House Organa who have been petitioning and lobbying the Senate for further military assistance, humanitarian assistance. They've become actually quite invaluable representatives from House Organa in terms of trying to gain Republic help on the planet.
So they've become like basically almost like a part of House Organa now.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty big in the.
They're pretty big,
in the galaxy.
They're
Then
pretty big.
Hello, this is the End Times. Joining us in the chat. Hello.
Hi, Debbie.
I'm just gonna kind of share that information a little bit. Just kind of be like, well, I recognize the names in connection with the Republic. So if this is truly an abduction, it may have political motives. But again, there is nothing. We have nothing to suggest one way or the other, based on this limited information.
Do you
So I
think
guess
she...
we'll just have to see.
Do you
Does the
think
data
she...
set have any information from like local authorities?
Say that again, Shayla.
Does the datapad have information from the local authorities, like what they checked out or what they?
No, it does not.
I've listened to too many true crime podcasts, okay?
Hey, that's helpful in this case.
Icky.
Yes,
Yes.
Do you think she maybe got drunk and is passed out in a cantina somewhere?
Gonna glare at you.
I'm just saying.
She was last seen 6 months ago, by the way.
Oh,
Actually, no,
Oh.
9 months. It was 9 months ago.
maybe she's hibernating.
I
Again,
don't.
she's just glaring at
I
you.
don't think Zabrak have a reason to
Do
hibernate.
Zabrak hibernate?
They're not really.
They're not
equipped for
cell
that.
capped. They don't hibernate for 9 months.
Why don't go in the cold?
This does bring up a good point, and Dex is going to turn to Ravrii. Are you emotionally and physically able to handle this mission?
Have you been emotionally compromised, Spock?
Spock.
I can do this.
Good.
Can I roll an
Because if
insight
you're
check?
emotionally get in the way and mess up this task, it's going to be on you.
I know.
Are you willing to accept the reality that she may be dead? Because 9 months is a long time, and
14.
that's maybe a harsh reality
She's hard
to
to read.
accept.
Honestly, I've contemplated that thought for a number of years, that if I ever went back home, things would be very different. I've run through several different kinds of scenarios in my mind, and I didn't actually think it would be a reality to face one of them. But I can do this.
I'm gonna just kind of put my arm on her shoulder, but not say anything.
Okay.
As familiar as I am with organic biology, is there a possibility that your sister eloped, became pregnant,
I mean, that is a
secreted
possibility.
herself away?
What's the gestation time for Zabrak? Does anybody know?
I was gonna say 9 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my God.
I'm not looking this up. I look up a lot of things. I'm not looking this up.
I mean, she's humanoid, so like
Yeah,
9
Just
months.
say it's a
that's-
normal 9 months. It's not outside the realm of possibilities.
that it is possible, BP. I haven't been home or had contact with my family, so I don't know anything about what her personal life is like.
What is her personality like?
Well, when we were kids, she just kind of followed me around, did whatever I did. She's very smart.
So she liked you a lot?
What?
She liked you a lot?
From what I remember, yes.
And then you left.
Yes.
Perhaps she followed in your footsteps and left similarly.
I certainly hope not.
What was her name again?
Zutri.
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 Is Zutri younger or older than you?
That's with an X.
She is 4 years younger.
Hmm.
She's not much younger than you, actually.
I see.
Please help her.
Do you have other siblings?
Just her.
I see, I see.
I mean, at least that's what it was like when I left. I don't know.
And you get a new brother!
Welcome home!
New 9-year-old sibling.
That happened to Bo.
That's true. That did happen to Bo.
You say that happened to Paul?
Bo.
Oh, I was like,
Whoa!
Bo,
Whoa, we
the
get
Bo staff.
hurt.
when he came back from the mission, hello.
Yeah.
I was like, how much younger is all of you?
Nice.
Did she have like any friends that you remember that maybe she could have contacted?
I mean, she always had a lot of friends. It's not like she was a recluse or anything like that. But again, she was 14.
That is true.
And neither one of us were one for the political games that our parents played.
Well, often children of politicians end up being the victims of their parents' professions.
Which is why I left.
Ooh, that's like a call out right there.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much.
Yeah, he's been watching a lot of true crime.
I don't know where you're talking.
If I go missing, you guys know who to look for at
First one to look at.
That's actually true. It's always a spouse, man. It's always a spouse.
Honestly,
It's always
that's
just
why
It's always-
I went to a political move that my father wanted to make.
You said it's been 10 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I
A long
suppose
time.
she could have changed over 10 years, because I was going to ask something else, but she could be different now.
A lot of people change.
Yep.
10 years. 10 years is a long time.
It is, yes.
Are we there yet?
Kota, perhaps a nap is in order. When you wake up, then we will be there.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah. You guys would have time for a long rest unless you had a really, really, really long conversation, but it would be enough time for a long rest on the way over to
I
Alderaan.
think a long rest would be.
Woo, long rest. I think I already had a long rest, so we're good.
Okay.
Yes,
I
yeah. Wouldn't hurt, but yeah.
I haven't used any in a while. Well, yeah, but before that, I didn't really use any, so.
Would I be able to maybe find more information either on like Ravrii's family or even like House Organa or anything that might help on the HoloNet?
With Ravrii's family, because of her natural 20, we'll say that also Dex also helped find information. There's not a whole ton. If you wanted just on House Organa, you could. Because
Okay.
you basically have the information. If you wanted to look for House Organa, yeah, you could roll a lore check.
Sure. I'm good at those.
I'm really glad you gave me that help, by the way, because my other dice was like a 4.
That is a modified 20.
Modified 20? Yeah, I mean, House Organa, not hard to find information on them. They're one of the more prominent families on Alderaan. Obviously, they're basically the Republic is backing them, number one, in trying to keep the planet out of the Empire's hands. They are, actually, give me 1 second while I'm going to flip to something.
Can I search for something additional or would I have to do like a separate?
What are you looking for? Roll modified 20, I think you're fine.
Looking to see if maybe like what's the word? They're just kind of like cross-checking, seeing if like her sister's name like has ever popped up like in any sort of reports or anything like on Alderaan. Like
Nothing any substantial. No.
Okay.
If she's mentioned, it's in passing.
Okay.
Public record is gone missing.
Yeah,
But
I was saying, and,
Does she got-
like any kind of like public records, like if she's ever caused
it
trouble in the
appears
past or something.
no, but there is
Why
no
not?
mention of her disappearance.
Okay.
Suspiciously so. She's been gone for 9 months, and there's nothing on her. And with
Wait, 9 or 6?
I said 6 originally, but I forgot it was supposed to be
Okay.
9. So, and you're an expert on the HoloNet. So, if a prominent politician or ambassador's child goes missing, it is usually very well documented, and the tabloids eat it up. But there is a suspicious lack of that mention. So it appears as though they might be keeping it under wraps.
Good to know.
Too many documentaries, guys. This is terrible.
I will say,
Those things get stuck up.
easy to find. You find Duke Charles Organa is like the head of House Organa at the moment, and he is, he's the one basically heading up the civil war on this end. There are several others in the Organa household who are heavily involved in this,
Okay.
and they are also being backed in the military aspect by Colonel Jace Malcolm, one of the more prominent. He's one of the Republic heroes. He actually helped liberate Alderaan from Darth Malgus in the initial attacks.
Okay.
And other than
Yeah.
that,
Are there any Jedi on Alderaan at the moment?
there are plenty. There are a couple of them at the moment that are running missions or trying to engage in diplomacy or even aid in the military effort.
Are there any that, like, me or Aspedes would know?
Let's see. You would know. One of the Jedi. There was actually a Jedi Master.
Camera.
Yep. Jedi Master Seraph Alda, who is actually of House Alda, one of the houses of Alderaan, is there.
And they were they were with Organa, right?
Yes, House Alda is with Organa. There's Jedi Master either Quan or Can, Qan, and Jedi Master Orgus Din are both currently on Alderaan.
Sorry. Skibble.
Yeah, Khan. We'll call it Khan.
Are they, like, currently doing missions in a way that we couldn't ask for go talk to them, or
Your knowledge of what they are doing is
limited?
You know they are there, you don't know why.
Okay. Probably. My assumption would be diplomatic stuff, but
Yeah.
okay.
Sus.
Mm.
Oh, that's how you spell Zutri. I'll just fix that.
Oh, it was so close.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about or ask before you take your long rest or before you arrive on Alderaan?
I pretty much asked all my questions.
We can't use the communicator.
Not in hyperspace.
Okay,
No, that
well,
makes sense.
I can't do that.
No, you can't.
No.
Alrighty then.
I don't really think I have any more questions.
No.
Okay.
Negotiation.
If you've got nothing else, then the rest of the 9 hours pass. I'd say that was about an hour or maybe about half an hour to an hour conversation. So you have full 8 hours if you want to take a long rest. Just to make sure you don't suffer any sort of exhaustion when you're on Alderaan, because time is weird in the galaxy.
I'm going to be spending most of it in the cockpit.
Doing what?
Doing what?
Wait, what are you doing?
Doing absolutely.
Wait. Hold up.
I processed that, then had to reprocess that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be spending my long rest in the cockpit. I'm going to see if the chairs are pretty comfy. I'm just going to sleep in them, maybe.
Sure.
There are multiple chairs. There are 3 to 4 chairs in there that aren't in the way. They're pretty comfy, but not terribly comfy. Beds are better.
No, I'll sleep in instead.
Okay. All right. So
DP, you may want to put a leash on him.
I tried once.
Literally. Oh. Oh my.
Write that down for the lore check.
He slipped right through it.
Oh, but thanks. We were so good. You have formula all over your face.
oh, no.
Nasty Bobby.
No, it's no bueno. It's no bueno. So, as the as the hours pass, eventually you get the signal that you're coming up on Alderaan. Exit hyperspace, and before you see the, very much like Earth, this kind of green and blue. There's a lot of ocean, a lot of landmass, plenty of what appear to be high peaks, snow-capped mountains. And
I was gonna ask. That reminds me. Do we have like winter gear?
No, you don't.
I didn't know Alderaan was a wintry planet.
I'm sure you could find some on the surface if you wanted.
Oh my gosh.
My family can provide for us.
Like as Spencer's going into Atmo, I'm just gonna be like just hovering over his shoulder, just watching him pilot.
Okay.
Fate is going to be hovering over your shoulder.
It's like
It's like the meme with the sniper.
The gunman's in the
You
sniper.
gotta make that meme now.
You just hear like a little electrical buzz like right next to your ear.
Like you hear this little. So you go into Atmo and
DP's on the side just looking.
So you go into Atmo and have a little communication with the air traffic control tower,
Permission to
and
buzz the tower.
are given clearance to land. And I'll say it's pretty easy with Asdepeus' clearance.
How much snow is that?
Is it Asdepeus? Aspedeus.
Asdepeus.
I know I made that mistake for the first couple of sessions as well.
Hey, I kept saying it wrong, guys. I'm sorry.
Aspedeus.
You're good.
Yeah,
That's serious.
yeah, everyone makes that joke. So, as you go, and you notice the spaceport is basically built like all the spaceports are pretty much uniform. This big, large, round structure with two wings coming off. Wings meaning like, not like wings as in flying wings, but like
Mansion wings. But
sure, yeah, yeah.
Wings.
With the giant pit that goes down into the earth that you can then park inside of. You park inside of it, and it is a military-run or a Republic military-run spaceport because of the fact that they're currently in the middle of a civil war. And notice it's very beautiful because you fly up and the spaceport is built next to a cliffside, a very sheer cliff that drops down to the ocean. This is the Appalus coast, and House Organa has this this large central what do I call it? Hang on. Large central building kind of that comes out and also comes down at like this pyramid, not pyramidal, but this triangular sort of shape. Let me pull up my
reference.
Let me pull my reference images here. Yes. So yeah, it comes out this very glorious grand lake. It has these two structures that come out of the side. We'll call them wings, and then this pyramid that comes up, and these large towers, and there are these large golden statues holding these long, we'll call them scepters, flanking each side of it. And the spaceport is a bit away from the city, and the buildings there are quite nice, quite ornate, large silver, I think probably not chromium plated, but pretty nice looking buildings out there.
I bet you I only need one frag charge to knock that statue down.
Oh no. Please do not try and figure that out.
I don't have one right now.
Would you do it for
Right
10
now.
credits?
I'd do it for 5.
I'll get back
If
to
you
you.
set off a single bomb, you will immediately be arrested.
They wouldn't find me.
They could find you because I would turn you in myself.
Hey!
Wow.
This is my planet, so please don't make it worse.
I'm sorry, Princess Alderaan.
Bad news for you. Your planet blows up.
It's 3,000 years in the future, but yes, your planet does do.
She's gonna be long dead before the
Not cold
Death
anymore.
Star comes around, okay?
Actually, it's very cold.
Yes,
It was
it's
very
in
hot,
the
and then it
cold-
was very cold.
Cold outer
That's
space.
fair, that's fair.
Yeah, you also see on the cliff sides large wind turbines. You see large windmills. There are, and Ravrii, you would know this, there are wind farms right next to House Organa. But you also notice that there appear to be a lot of military troops exchanging blaster fire with other military troops occasionally. Appears to be a standoff at this wind farm. So you make.
Can we talk about something about the weird farms in Star Wars? Wind farms on Alderaan, moisture farms on Tatooine.
Well, you
like,
need
what are we
moisture
doing,
on a desert
like,
planet.
We
Yeah, that's
grave up
fair.
on corn.
Yeah.
There are other farms, but you know,
We're just like, no, I don't want to eat corn. I want to eat the wind.
well, wind farms, they're like it's like wind farms we have here. It's for power. It's not for food.
No, I know. It's like when you call it a farm, it just sounds like
Gave up on corn.
we gave up on eating normal food. I just eat the wind.
Eat the wind.
Hey, I mean, it's a renewable resource for us all, as far as we know. So you know.
Does that mean the people in Alderaan are really gassy?
Potentially.
They eat the wind.
The big windbags.
Ow, thanks.
I mean, they're all politicians.
Yeah. So you make your way down to the spaceport. You get your clearance to land. You land. And again, it's pretty standard. It looks the same as it did on Terrace. You take the elevator up. You come out. You're on the north wing, so you go towards the center with a very large viewport off to the side. And then there's a couple of shops in here, and then, of course, there's the door.
I'm gonna buy some winter clothing.
Yeah, there's some winter clothing.
Same.
Which,
Yeah.
let me pull
I
up
think we all are.
And to give you guys a reference, like Coda's not buying one coat; he's buying 3.
You're buying 3? Okay.
I'm just because I'm bundling up.
I'm gonna purchase some cold weather lubricant.
That's
She's a robot.
I don't need my oil freezing.
I'll call that, yeah,
That's
that'll
true. Yeah, that would not be good.
be... That'll be 20 credits for each set of, of cold weather clothing.
I'll count mine as that.
I want a coat kind of like the one Ahsoka has, with like the fur lining.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's cute.
You're having difficulty finding one that fits your head properly, but it's possible.
Racist.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have a hood. It might not even need a hood. I just need.
Yeah, you can have the fur-lined collar. Like, you can
Okay.
totally have that.
I like that. I like the hood.
Easy to shop for.
Yep, Humies.
Me.
Lot of racism in this universe. So,
Just enough.
just enough. So, you guys buy your cold weather gear. It's not that difficult to find there because it's currently winter there. So, you exit, and there is a road leading towards House Organa, and you'll see some soldiers around as well as some civilians and traders. Spencer, I know your passive perception is obscene. What's everyone else's passive perception?
16.
16.
11.
I don't know if I should be proud of that or take offense to that.
Paul, what's your passive?
Was it like
11?
6 or...
It's
not
better than that.
I thought it was like
It's
11.
12.
12.
12.
Alex.
Damn it, you're
14.
higher than mine.
Shayla.
13.
What's Lindsay's?
Lindsay's is 14.
Okay,
Oh.
so I will say,
Oh, excuse me.
Dex does notice this. I do want you roll a lore check for me, real quick.
A lord check?
Not you, Spencer. You're fine. But
He's talking to Mercedes.
because she has the second highest passive perception here. So
Ooh.
That's a 14.
it's a 14. Okay. So
I'm not very good with lore.
so Byra
My
and
intelligence is
and
not
I know
great.
because of your background, that's why I had you roll this and not Spencer, because he also has. I know he has a really high intelligence too. So.
That's fine.
Dex and Byra both notice as you are exiting the spaceport, there are a group of people that looks to just be kind of like merchants or traders offloading some supplies like on a hovering cart with an insignia that I will say you can't tell where you've seen it before. Like you're kind of like, I know I've seen that, but you're just not entirely sure where. It appears... It looks to be... go away, please. Come on. Come on.
Where are we looking? Are we looking somewhere?
No. I'm just pulling up an image for myself.
Oh.
So it looks to be sort of... It's difficult to describe. It kind of looks like a stylized version of like the face of a spider, almost.
Oh, okay.
With like these two angled pincers that come out, as well as these two almost look like fangs coming down the middle. And you know you've seen it somewhere, you just can't place it. Dex, because you're extremely smart, I'm not going to have you roll for this. You recognize this logo. You saw it in the office of Caecilius Zahn on Terrace. And they're like these shipping containers, and they have like this little emblem painted on it. and the guys are talking with some of the customs officials. What was that, Lindsay?
He just like pops up everywhere, man.
He's not there, but you do recognize this logo. He had it in his office on Terrace, and so Dex recognizes that. You're like, you've seen it, but you can't quite place where.
It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Exactly, it's like just can't place where. So they're kind of like talking with the customs officials about everything, and you do notice that.
Is there any other activities going on as we're walking out of the spaceport?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Other than the freezing cold wind and snow and 8.
8. There's freezing cold wind and snow.
This is the worst planet ever.
I will say, and it's sea spray too. Like, you are on the ocean, so it's pretty darn cold. But it's at the point, like, it's kind of like the half melted snow. There's not like a whole lot of slush, but like there's snow on the trees and of course on the mountaintops and on the ground a little bit. But it's not like blanketed with snow right now.
Oh boy.
This is the worst planet ever.
Excuse you, Spencer.
And it's not like a terrible breeze, but it's pretty breezy.
Shit, what'd you say?
It's a Ravrii just pats your head.
You are shorter, aren't you?
I am.
He is short.
That's right. I forget you're short.
Selkath ain't very tall.
I'm like 4'2", I think. Let me check.
You short little guy.
4'5".
Wow.
I forget what I said DP was. 6 foot.
Wow. He is a hobbit to
Yeah,
you.
we make a pair.
He's a little taller than a hobbit, but yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
5'6".
So,
So
you guys,
big palace, right?
what you guys doing? You guys heading to the palace? Or not the palace, but the
Like
estate?
beeline, but
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Ravrii's heading just straight for the estate.
Let's follow her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I figured that's where it goes, just straight there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I see,
Definitely.
with my perception check, do I see any signs of a local canteen or other...
oh god.
Not on the way there, no.
Dang it!
Not time for that.
There's always time for cantinas.
Gonna bet the ship
Guess for
someday.
him, yeah.
Oh, he's not going to survive if he bets the ship.
Thank goodness.
Oh, excuse me.
Coda doesn't know that.
I don't know that. Yeah, Coda doesn't know that.
That's how Coda dies, and Paul introduces a new character. Not in some combat or something like that. He bets the ship and then never returns.
Yep. Exactly what happened.
And my new character is the one he lost the ship
Just
to.
lost the ship.
He gets sold with the ship.
The moment he bets the ship and he gets killed by Dex, we've already lost the ship. He bets the ship, he loses.
Yep, because
Yep.
he's dead.
Pretty much.
On a technicality, you do lose the ship. So, you guys head straight for it, and it is a little bit of a walk. Actually, I'll say there's like no, you guys can walk there. It's a little bit of a walk from the spaceport, but you can get there, and there's this kind of open space between it. And you see there are like military guards guarding the roadway, and some speeders will pass by you carrying containers or people. As you can see out to the south, to your right anyway, amongst the green grass towards the wind farm, there appear to be, again, like a military standoff happening, and so these guards appear to be trying to keep people away from that and to keep that away from the people. So eventually you make your way to House Organa, and the buildings there are, again, they're a lot nicer than they were on Terrace. There's a lot of very beautiful, like, the architecture is simple but also very beautiful in a certain way, where a lot of the buildings are like rounded in kind of a circular fashion. Some are taller, some are shorter, and there appear to be a lot of people, mostly humans, but you do see the occasional alien of your typical Twi'lek, Togruta, Zabrak amongst the crowd. No Selkath.
How dare they?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonder what here, Paul.
The streets are also lined with banners of what Ravrii knows as the House Organa crest, and I'm going to attempt to describe this because I'm not very good at it.
So, how's it feel to be home?
What?
How's it feel to be home?
It's surreal. I kind of feel like I'm not actually here.
I'm just gonna like poke her.
Yeah, still here. That's my name.
Again, she pats your head, but a little bit rougher this time.
Does it seem very different, or does it still seem about the same, other than the Civil War thing going on?
It's grown quite a bit since I was last here.
There are also a lack of destroyed buildings. Because a lot of the cities of Alderaan were ransacked by the Empire. You do see, actually, occasionally, there's one actually to the right, immediately south of House Organa's estate, where there is this sort of like taller, halfway destroyed building, but there appear to be workers on scaffoldings and cranes and hovering droids and lifters that are trying to rebuild.
Things look better, but also there's a civil war going on, so that's new.
Well, yes, I figured that was a given.
How long has the Civil War been going?
10 years. Basically since the Treaty of Coruscant.
Okay.
Basically, since she left.
Yes.
Maybe now that she's back, the Civil War will
Started
stop.
the Civil War.
Stop!
Yeah, I will say that
Demand
Ravrii,
you.
Ravrii are definitely aware of the Civil War. It had not yet started when you'd left.
Mm-hmm.
He's single-handedly responsible for the Civil
yes.
War.
It's
Family
all your fault.
started all of this.
Okay.
Alright. So you guys make your way into House Organa, and you see this very large triangular building with spires coming out of it. There is a large emblem, kind of like in the entrance on the ground, in sort of a mosaic. It's sort of like a heart mixed with a Celtic knot sort of thing, where there are the two rounded edges come down towards the center, and then from behind that you see kind of a couple others come out and connect. So there's this large emblem. This is the symbol of House Organa.
That's cool.
And you walk in, and there are a lot of very fancily dressed people in there, and of course you've got your maids and your butlers and all the sort of staff that are also moving around, and it is very nice. And as you come around this middle partition, it opens up into this wide, grand hall, very well lit, large pillars, and you can see walkways that line the halls, rooms that go off into different directions. Oh, my hands. Sorry, I'm in the way of the camera. And very lavish, very well decorated, very posh.
Very posh.
Perhaps decadent.
Yes, I think that's a very excellent word, decadent. You are greeted by one of the...
Word of the night, decadent.
You are greeted, actually, a man comes forward.
Do we have, like, I don't know, like a paper or something just to kind of show, like...
You have
hey,
the
we're
data
here-
pad.
Is the data pad,
Yeah,
okay.
a man comes forward, an elderly gentleman, a very good suit sort of look. He's got sort of unkept hair, sort of a long face, wrinkles, and he's excuse me, may I help you? Who are you?
I'm Coda.
What was that? What was that, Shayla?
What was that?
But we're looking for Koga and Asta.
May I ask as to why? I'm sorry, you're all we don't recognize your faces here, and, we don't have time for people coming in off the streets. And as he starts to go to this rant, another one comes by, slightly shorter than him, bald, little stubble, also very similarly dressed suit. He's like, Ian, you might want to move along. You're starting to lose your temper. I'm sorry. My name is Patty. This is my husband, Ian. He gets like this with strangers. You said you were looking for Koga and Asta?
Yes.
You are with the, are you with the association? Did you come here about the bounty?
Shayla was speaking.
Oh, you were? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't pick you up.
Oh, you're good. I just said that they're my parents.
Oh!
Oh my goodness. Mr. Ravrii, yes, it's been some time. I've heard about you. You've never met this man, by the way. I've heard about you. Yes, I'll take you to them immediately. He looks flustered. He's like, I didn't expect this today. Says, Ian!
Expect some bounty.
It's like, Ian, make sure the maintenance droids are fine. He's like, yes, I'll get to it.
When you say you've heard of me, what do you mean?
Your parents have spoken of you and spoken of you quite fondly. Of course, they've missed you. You've disappeared for 10 years.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are these two essentially
Yes.
Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen?
Yes.
I love you so much.
Yes. Patty and Ian.
Yeah. I picked up on the voices and the names. I was like, please tell me. Oh, I love you.
He starts to lead you away towards one of the rooms on the side, and you go through a hallway that's very red carpet. Not like a red carpet, a friggin'... the halls are carpeted with red. They're these nice kind of like... they're not gold, but they kind of give this sort of gold metallic sheen to it on the walls of the pillars especially. There's artwork of Alderaan and of past House Organa members and present House Organa members, and you eventually led into a sort of conference room, very brightly lit. He says, "Remain here, and I will go and fetch the. I'll go and fetch them for you."
He's on a fetch quest.
What's that?
I said he's on a fetch quest.
Yep.
What's in this conference room?
Not a whole lot. There are like some tables. There's a big table, some chairs along the side.
Anything on these tables?
There's kind of like a counter on the side with some glasses and a water pitcher. But on the table, there's like a hollow projector. But
I'm gonna go over to the water pitcher. How nice are the glasses?
Pretty darn nice.
I'm gonna pour me some glass of water. I'm gonna drink it.
Okay.
And I'll take the glass.
Don't you dare, Kota.
Are you trying to be sneaky, or are you?
Is there anyone like any staff members here?
No, there's no staff members, but there are your friends.
I'm gonna try and be sneaky.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand check. See if.
Oh gosh.
It's a natural 20.
For a total of.
What's that a total of?
I know.
22.
Okay, so you're fine.
Dang it.
Alright, so yeah, you pocket it and no one seems to notice you. And the smoothest move you have ever made, Kota.
That we know about.
You don't even know about it. So yeah, you pocket that glass. It's still glass, like it's not made of diamond.
Oh, I know very much so.
It clanks against the grenades.
What was that? I don't know anything about that.
So after a few minutes of sitting in silence, two individuals rush into the room. Zabrak, they have similar like facial design, like kind of the tattoos designs as Ravrii, with just some slight differences.
She's facing away from the door.
Yeah. The male Kota, he's about 6'2". He's a little thin. He's not like super thin, like not like berry thin, but not like unhealthily thin. He held himself very well. Thick black curly hair. Not too long, but not too short. And
Zabraks have hair?
Yeah, Zabraks have hair.
Oh.
And
I've only ever seen Zabraks with spikes.
He's got hair. And he's got like a scar running down left side of his face, basically all the way down here.
Sheila's character has hair.
Yeah, she's had hair the whole time.
I haven't seen any character art, so
clothes,
I have no idea.
His clothes they're very nice. They're definitely, it's that well-tailored look, but more understated, especially compared to the 5'6" woman to his left, who a lot more ostentatious, a lot more intricate weavings and designs. You can pick up the design of the Celtic knot of House Organa sort of deal.
Oh, gotcha.
And she's a little bit heavier set, but she's not like overweight. Darker red hair, long. She's got it kind of in a bun in the back. You can tell it's a pretty big bun.
That's a big bun.
Do you like big buns?
You can't lie.
Can't
lie.
I mean,
Not
I
with
don't
his
have a
charisma.
hair, so it's always something I admired.
Oh man, sorry, internet's not so good, man.
Oh, Debbie.
Aww.
Have a good
We
night.
appreciated you having you here. Have a good night. So they come in and they're like scan the room immediately, and they find you, Ravrii, and
I just slowly turn around and look at them.
they're just like shocked. Your mother rushes over to you. Your father sort of stands in the doorway, dumbfounded. Your mother rushes over to you and basically jumps you and wraps her arms around you.
And Ravrii just sort of hugs her back, but stares at her father.
And he slowly makes his way towards you, and honestly, she kind of releases you. She's like, "Where have you? How? Why? What?
I heard about Zutri.
About Sutri?
We're here to find her.
Your father comes up to you and he kind of looks you up and down, like assessing how you're looking, and it's like, well, the
picture.
There we go. He's like, I'm not sure what to say, but I'm glad you're back. You hear about Zutra, you heard. Are you all... We told you with the Bounty Brokers Association. Have you been there this whole time?
No. That's a much longer story, but I'll have to tell you that some other time.
Yes, alright. I don't know what... I wasn't expecting... We were expecting people to come. We put the bounty out relatively recently, but I wasn't expecting you, of all people.
Why has she been gone this long and only set out a bounty?
We tried to handle it with Organa security forces, but we couldn't get anywhere, and we were worried. We thought... We weren't sure, and eventually we decided to call in some outside help. And they've been too busy with the war, and we ourselves have been extremely overwhelmed. Eventually we decided maybe the Bounty Brokers Association wanted to try this, keep this quiet. We didn't want... The Empire has made no attempts at ransom, so we don't think it's them, but we've been trying to keep it so that we don't attract any outside attention.
Insight?
Yeah, roll an insight check. What are you trying to determine?
If he's telling the truth.
Go ahead.
What is insight?
Wisdom. Thank you guys once again for everybody who's joining us. And thank you, Mom, for following us. I recognize you can't see it on there, but I recognize her username.
Shayla's mom?
Thanks, Mom.
My mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know Mom made a Twitch account.
Apparently she just did.
Hi, Mom.
Unless there's another T-Dazzle, but I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yep.
What? It's not your mom.
If it's not Mom, then you are now
like,
Mom.
what is...
Thanks, Mom.
So that was a 21.
He seems... I mean, he's definitely flustered. He wasn't expecting his daughter to be here, but right now he seems to be telling the truth. There's a little bit of shame that it's maybe taken this long, but there's no deceit in it.
Okay. No cover or anything, like he's trying to cover up something?
No.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Seems as though they were just... Nothing could be done, and they were trying to keep it quiet.
Has there been any further developments since the bounty was posted?
No, but we're getting desperate. Like, every day it's silence. We have nothing. We don't know anything. House Stool has made no contact, so we don't know if they have her and they're just keeping it quiet. We just don't know.
Do you think this is politically motivated?
I don't know. I mean, anything is possible. We're in the middle of a war.
I noticed.
And your mom chimes in. She's like, there was no indication. I mean, she's been distant lately, but there was no indication of, there was no forced entry, there was no signs of struggle. She was a bit quiet lately, but then she just vanished. We're not sure why.
You mentioned a previous investigation. Do you know where she isn't?
She's not here, but...
Naturally.
Well, obviously.
We sent, like I said, no contact from House Thule or the Empire or House Olgo. We've sent some spies in to try to see if they could locate her. There's been no mention of her at all. But the spaceport didn't report seeing her. From what we tell, she didn't leave the planet.
We just sit down and talk about everything that happened the day she disappeared.
Yes, I believe that would be wise. And the whole time, like, he's talking and addressing all of you, his eyes keep, like, flickering back to Ravrii, like, every 2 seconds, like, just trying to drink
She's
in.
still here.
Yeah, basically.
Can I try and subtly cast a calm emotions on him?
Sure, go ahead. If you're trying to be subtle, we can roll a sleight of hand check.
You are loving that calm emotions.
Yeah, let me get my dice here.
It's a good ability.
Oh, that's not a very good sleight of hand, though. That's only a 9.
It's a 9. He does look at you
I'm just going to I'm gonna try and kind of play it off because I realize that I have not done this well. I'm just gonna kind of like move my hand towards him, but just say, "Sir, you need to be calm."
Okay, that'll do it. He's still watching a little odd. Yeah, he doesn't succeed that. He's like, yes, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Padawan. I will maintain a level head. As you all sit down, Ravrii, your mother sits right next to you, and your father sits on the other side of her.
Hold my mother's hand.
The day she disappeared, it was... I guess it was 9 months ago. We had been very busy. As you can see, we're pretty prominent here in the house. We've been trying to petition Coruscant for more military aid, for maybe even more military action, but of course the Treaty of Coruscant keeps it so that they can't do a whole lot, but we've been trying to gain funding. We've also been reaching out to interested third parties, that sort of thing, and we... Yes?
Was she frustrated with anything at the time?
She's been growing frustrated lately, I suppose. We've been at war for 10 years. Everyone's frustrated about that, especially in our positions here in the house. We are up front with most of that. She's been frustrated with the lack of progress, and she has expressed a little bit of disappointment in the Republic, but other than that, she's been a little distant lately. She was distant.
Did you notice being around a particular group of people or individuals, or was there anyone coming to the house that seemed to ask for her often?
Ian and Patty never mentioned anybody, but they did say she would leave and go to the cantina more frequently. It's the Shining Star Cantina. It's just to the north of here. It's not very far.
North?
I give Kota a side eye.
Keeping mental note.
She would go to the cantina, but they wouldn't follow her or anything, so we don't know what happened there. She would also spend a lot of time in her room by herself, and we checked. We couldn't find much of anything in there, but if you wish to look, you may.
Has the room been disturbed?
We've had the local police look in there, but they weren't able to find anything. We put everything back as it was found. She kept things relatively clean in recent years. You know, she was very organized, very tidy. She kept some of your art.
You drew?
You're an artist?
I dabble.
She was very good, very talented.
You've never shown us.
We've had other things.
We'll talk about that later. I'm curious.
What do you think the likelihood is that she did voluntarily leave?
If she did, I'm not entirely sure why or where she would go, but I mean, it's always a possibility. The investigation, there was nothing on any sort of security footage of a kidnapping, but I don't know why she would leave. Yes.
Spence wants F8 to scan the room, if possible.
Okay, is that an ability, or is that just like an investigation check?
Well, he has advantage on perception checks.
Okay, yeah, Fate can roll a perception check at advantage.
Fate stats, he has a...
For anybody who doesn't know, Fate is Spencer's little probe.
Yeah. Spencer's got a little probe droid.
He's cute.
Sorry, give me 1 sec here.
No, you're good.
He means her room.
Most of us.
Sorry.
Her room. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I was like, I don't know what you mean by that. No. Yes. Hey.
Zootree's room.
Zootree's room. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that when we get there. So,
Was she?
Like, we can also scan this room, too. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get there.
Was she ever a rebellious person? In recent years?
In recent years, no. I mean, Ravrii would get her into trouble sometimes, but when we moved in, she was very well behaved, and she was occasionally frustrated, but she did well, never particularly rebellious.
Any particular frustrations that she focused on?
She mentioned sometimes how she didn't like being in the house as much as she was. She had frustrations with fellow students in recent years. She's been studying a lot. Of course, with the war, she wished it would end quicker, but we all do. Occasionally she's expressed frustrations with us being away from home as much as we are, but...
Where is home?
Well, here.
What was her study focus?
Her study focus recently, she's become involved in studying diplomacy and maybe hoping to join us.
Did she have any enemies?
Not that I'm aware of. She mostly stayed here. We kept her away from the fighting and from all the danger.
Or I guess, let me rephrase. You said that there were certain students that were frustrating to her.
As frustrating as, I studied at local academies. You always have somebody who thinks they're smarter than everybody, or someone who doesn't put forth as much effort. Like, that's as much as she complained. She never got into fights or anything.
Was there anyone that she trusted? Like, if she potentially were to run away, perhaps somewhere that she would go? Trusted colleagues, friends.
I'm afraid I don't know.
Ravrii, do you know?
Is there anyone that would know?
I'm sure we could look up something on the wiki.
On the wiki.
I'm trying to remember if there was something particular I'm trying to discover. Okay.
Are the butlers in the room too?
No, they didn't come back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Cerebro and Magneto never came back.
Maybe she spent as part of her studies. She looked into military tactics as well. She would spend time with Colonel Malcolm in the military headquarters here. He might know. He mentioned she talked to him a bit, but you're welcome to ask. We've already talked to him, but I'm not sure.
Forgive the probing question, but is there a possibility that Zutri could be with child?
Her mother goes,
You are very sudden, but...
I never... It's fine.
If I'm right, so help me.
I mean...
It was not DP.
She hasn't been too upfront with us about her social life.
So you're saying little childs?
I simply asked.
Sure, yes, there's a possibility.
I simply asked due to the time frame.
Ravrii just sort of pats her dad's shoulder. We have to consider.
Her mom looks very offended, but her dad actually is like doing it in his head. He's like,
doing some
it's not.
The fact that it has been 9 months has gotten.
He's like, it's.
DP
I suppose it's.
I know
possible.
one thing about biology.
And is there any other?
You are a droid. My expectations aren't that high.
So, are there any other missing cases at all nearby?
I mean, there are plenty. War people go missing, they get captured, or...
Anyone from her age group?
I think there was... I'm trying to remember. I believe there was. He looks to Asta. There's the Antilles boy. He went missing not too long ago, but she had been gone for about 4 months at that point. She says, yes, I remember. He went missing.
I'm immediately checking the HoloNet for this Antilles boy.
Regular lore check.
Is it looking like missing boy, Antilles, whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever sort of parameters.
Key search words, yeah.
Did you say
lore?
Boy.
Hello, boy.
He glares at you, Kota.
That's a 24.
You do find
I'm
mention.
rolling hot tonight.
You do find mention of an Ezran Antilles with an X. Ezra Antilles, who has gone missing. The Antilles family isn't so totally prominent like Ravrii's family is at the moment. Went missing about, what's the math on 5 months ago.
So after
after she had gone missing, yes. Okay. The Antilles family are more, they're kind of a mix of diplomats and military. In this particular, he was younger.
He's younger than Zutri.
They're about the same age. He's actually slightly older. He's 25.
Okay.
He had expressed he was vocal about wanting more military action from local Alderaan citizens, and not so much Republic interference, because the Republic currently was not doing too much. He wanted basically more citizens to enlist, or to even just take action against House Thule and House Olga.
Was his family on which side of the Civil War?
They're on the Organan side.
Okay.
Did Zutri ever speak out against any of the other families, or anything involved in the Civil War?
She studied diplomacy and also some military strategy. She had her opinions on the conflict. She wished it would end faster. She's not particularly fond of House Thule and for bringing in the Empire, but none of us are.
So, just so Morgan understands it seemed like Zutri and Ezran were on the same side?
Yes.
Okay.
Same side.
Did they have any dealings with each other that we know of?
I'm
Sex.
Oh my gosh.
Just putting it out there.
Her mother gets
I'm gonna
up and...
pull out one of her knives and point it at you, Kota.
Oh no.
You keep a civil tongue in front of my family.
Gotcha.
He lived here locally. The Antilles family is relatively well known here, but as far as I'm aware, they never interacted.
Because what I'm thinking, based on what you have said, and the information that I've gathered from the HoloNet, both on your own daughter as well as the Antilles boy, they may not have had dealings together in person, but they were both on the same side of the war, seem to have spoken out against the other side. Perhaps maybe someone on the other side of the war, a certain house or certain, I don't know, insurgents or whatever may be involved. I think it may be someone on the other side of this civil war, and it is possibly taking younger generations, those who they might not, or they might think it's a threat.
Well, Zutri was never vocal publicly about her opinions. The Antilles boy was, he and a few others, but...
Maybe she said something to the wrong person.
It's possible. There's plenty
She could
of
have gotten
types.
herself involved in a movement.
Maybe.
Anything's possible.
There are plenty of movements.
You might have to search her room.
Perhaps. If you wish. This is, I suppose, your job, as you are here under a sort of contract, I suppose. We did promise to pay if you return her.
Yes.
Is Fate already up there?
I'm gonna say you'd have to go up with Fate.
Oh.
Dex would have. I would say Dex would have enough sense not to just send out a droid wandering through the halls.
Well, that's what I thought he was doing, because he said he was gonna.
Well, that's why I said we get there when we get there, because.
Oh.
All right. If you wish to search, you may go there.
Yes.
She also spent much time in the cantina, so if you wish to go there as well, you may check it out.
Yes, I think it's a great place to search. I will go.
Kota, sticking with the group.
Okay.
Say we're not splitting right
Okay,
now.
so you guys go. Koga says, "I must return to my duties. Also, would you mind taking them?" And she says, "Yes, I will." So her mother leads you up. It's kind of in the upstairs section of the house towards the southern wing. She lets you inside. She very gingerly opens the door, sort of like, disturbing a tomb or something like that. The door opens and the room is pretty nice. It's not like super ostentatious, but I mean the bed looks nice. It's made. The room is clean. It's organized. There you can see on one of the walls is an art piece. One What would Ravrii have drawn back in her days back on Alderaan?
Like a favorite, like not really like a hideout, but like an area where Zutri and Ravrii would like to go, like just hang out, play, whatever.
Yeah.
And it would probably be a more detailed version of Zutri specifically playing in this area, like it's from Ravrii's perspective.
Okay. So yeah, House Organa is located immediately, like it's on the cliffs, but there's also immediately like a mountain range that comes out of it. It's built into the side of that. So I'd say there's like a spot on the mountain overlooking the cliffs and the wind farms. So you see this this kind of almost sort of a smaller landscape painting. You see the windmills and the coast, and also a detailed version of a young female who looks similar to Ravrii, but is also different enough you can tell that it's not Ravrii. Sort of sitting and looking out over the expanse. And Spencer did speak up first in saying he wanted Fate to scan the room, so go ahead and roll a perception check at advantage for Fate.
Look for knowing my sister and how we were kind of mischievous. Can I look for any like hidden compartments or like locks or something? You know.
Yes, you may. Make an investigation check.
Where's your stash?
Can I help her, Austin?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. You get an advantage. Fate got a 15.
15. So Fate does a quick scan of the room, doesn't see anything particularly out of place. There are also some data pads containing texts that you look through about not that kind of text. Alderaanian history, military strategy, and also diplomacy, that sort of things. Appears to be some of what she was studying. What did you roll, Ravrii?
22.
22. Okay, so you are going through, and behind one of the bedside tables, you notice that there is sort of a wall panel that is loose.
Ooh.
Classic.
I move it.
Okay, so you move it, and inside you find...
Dead body.
50
No.
gold coins.
No.
Drugs. She finds spice.
You don't find spice.
Damn it.
Red body?
I was trying to be on the level of Lindsay with her true crime stuff. Her true
No,
crime
if you
knowledge.
opened up the cabinet and there was a true crime story, you'd find a dead body in there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Date.
You
Confession.
you find a holdout blaster. Real small, like kind of easily concealable blaster in there. And a data pad. Of different design than the ones normally on her desk.
This is where the texts are.
Okay.
Miria,
Hmm?
I hold it up.
Talking straight to me.
I'll take it. I'm gonna start examining it.
Yeah.
Look, or hacking into it, or whatever I need to do.
Roll
Been
a,
Not that kind of hacking.
You're shaking it upside down.
yeah, roll a technology check.
Okay. I'm good.
Which I'm basically using to as a substitution for your
I'm sorry.
hacking check, basically.
It's okay. I didn't realize your pencil was there.
How did I?
No, it's good.
Don't attack my
Security
wife.
measures.
Where's some ice cream?
That is. What is it?
Don't blame you. That's
Modified 20.
Yeah, so it's only moderately password protected, so it's pretty easy to get in.
Nice.
And there's not a whole lot on here other than some really, really, I'll say, biting words. This appears to be some sort of a communication device between different anonymous sources, biting words against the Republic, saying they're not doing enough, that they're weak, that they don't deserve to be on Alderaan because they already lost it once. Also, lots of hateful words against House Thule, all the other houses on the side of the Empire, talk about liberating Alderaan, and talk of the Alderaan.
I had a suspicion she was a defector.
Talk about. Well, no, it's anti-Empire. It's like it's kind of talk about how the Republic's not good enough, but the Empire is still evil. Like there's still some definite bad blood against the Empire.
Radicals.
Yeah, it's also talk of Alderaan loyalists. and a lot of mentioning of that and joining the movement, so to speak.
The movement. The waves.
Would it be
Waxing
possible to
It
take?
was oddly metaphorical.
Would it be possible to take the code alerter that I have and like copy all of these texts onto it?
Yeah, perfectly possible.
Okay, I'm
Very
gonna
doable.
I'm gonna
Any
do
mention
that.
of like a location or a meeting place? Or...
Last thing mentioned was basically meet at the cantina at X hours, like super the dead of night sort of deal.
Is there a day on the text or the message?
It was about 9 months ago.
Can I,
So
Yes, Lindsay? One sec.
did we establish like what time of day she disappeared? Like, did she disappear like in the middle of the night? Or did
it was
like,
never said by the parents, but according to what's on this data pad, it seems probably middle of the night sort of deal.
Woke up
like
the
they
next
just
morning
and she was gone, or
yeah,
was it
that
like
kind of deal. Woke up, she was gone.
okay?
well, it's looking like your sister got into a little bit of trouble.
Just a little bit.
Probably found herself with the wrong crowd.
No, I was always the one to get her into trouble. Perhaps now I get her out.
So it would seem. And from the last message on this data pad, it would seem that she snuck out middle of the night and went to the cantina. So I think that might be the next best place to check, see if anyone. I mean, I know it was 9 months ago. It may be a hard shot, not shot in the dark, but that may be the next place to check.
Anything we can find. But I don't know.
We should probably show this to your parents also.
My father maybe. Let's not show my mother just yet.
I will say she did leave once she let you in the room, so.
Her mother seems sensitive.
Yes, she is. We'll show my father later.
Did she got a skin
He's
condition?
busy at the moment, apparently.
I think it may be in our best interest to not really show anyone what we have learned until we know the significance of it. Because
You make a fair point.
this information
Especially,
may cloud our perception of the person we are trying to find.
and it may prove a dangerous political move.
Very true. Well, we can leave the data pad here. I copied all of the messages onto this cylinder so we still have the evidence with us. Heaven forbid the data pad disappears.
True.
Yeah, can we like put it back so it looks like it wasn't tampered with?
Sure, yeah, easy enough.
Put the thing back.
Ravrii
But
Ravrii seems pretty adept at hiding things.
You're pretty good at that, Ravrii.
Sus!
First nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Guess we go to the
We
cantina
could.
then, right?
Yes. Let's head towards the cantina.
Okay.
Hear that, Kosa? We're finally going.
Yes! I mean, yes. That's a good thing.
Business first.
I'm Jilly. I'm God.
We don't drink till after the job.
What? This is... What?
Alright, so.
After we get the job.
Damn
This
this
is
thing.
perfect garbage.
Alright, so you guys leave the estate, and they did say it was north, so there's like kind of a street that branches off in two different directions from the house, and it goes to the north. You walk along the side, and you make your way to the Shining Star Cantina. It's not that far up the road, it's about half a mile away.
It's so far away. In the cold.
DP, do you have like some sort of, I don't know, mechanism or something that can help heat him up?
I can shake him.
Don't do that again.
Again? Freaking again!
I love you.
It's the only way you would survive.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, I meant like, I don't know, something you could heat up or a flamethrower, I don't know.
If I had a flamethrower, that would have got me out of a couple of problems. But no.
I'm
We'll
trying
have
to
to
see if I
remember
have
that for
any
the
force
future.
powers that would work.
I'm gonna ask about the shaking story later, by the way.
By the way, I've been meaning to tell you guys this. This is for Aetop and Azapea specifically, and I'm just going to mention it here. You are not, when you choose your powers, like at the beginning of a day sort of deal, you can choose the dark side one, but the modifier for DCs and attack rolls is charisma instead of wisdom. And I will say, if you use them, please let me know if it is dark side, because that will affect how certain people react to you. You are not limited to being just the good intuitionist Jedi if you so wish. It's your choice. You don't have to take it, but be aware that there is a thing that the difference between the two. There are consequences.
I can cast pyrokinesis on Paul to catch him on fire.
What?
We're having fish tonight.
Oh my god.
Is this how I die?
That's how Coda dies.
Is this how I go?
Are you making that? Is Aetop making that known to the group?
No.
Do I need a roll for something?
I'm not gonna actually cast it on you.
Persuasion to not murder you.
Yes.
I won't actually do that, I promise.
Let me know when you guys are feeling in the mood for sashimi and I'll start running.
Oh my.
I was gonna say, Coach, you should
Sashimi's
always
uncooked.
run a place to warm up.
What was that, Shayla?
That you could always start running in place to warm up.
There you go.
All right.
You need some earmuffs.
Really big ones.
So cute that their moms would be so cute.
Yeah, but they'd have to be huge because they got long heads.
That's true, they do.
We make it to the cantina.
Yes, eventually you do make it to the cantina, and it's nicer looking, definitely nicer than the one on Terrace. There's a live band in there playing some music that I can't provide because copyright. Not that song. That song hasn't been written yet.
I know.
So
Well,
you
you
get
don't
in.
know that.
Oh,
It
that's
could have
not-
been a
I keep my
song that has been known
Not
through
been
the
written.
ages.
Trust me, it's not been known. What was that?
I keep my scarf up over my face.
Okay, put your mask up. You walk in, and it's a nicer cantina, but it's a cantina. You know, there's a couple people who are drinking way too early because it's like early afternoon here on.
It's 5
Alderaan.
o'clock somewhere.
Somewhere in the galaxy, yes, it is 5 o'clock.
Time zones.
Anyone playing cards?
No one playing cards.
Good.
Oh.
And you see a number of people. Anyone who wants to roll a perception check for me?
I will.
I'll have
Sure.
Dex
why not?
roll protection check.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's a natural one.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't roll that well.
17.
I don't know if you can roll less than a 1, so
It depends on what your perception is.
that's true. My
Let's see.
perception.
If your
Sam's
perception is
got-
-1, you
Just
can
say
indeed
that's-
roll pretty darn
that's-
Sam
well.
and Travis have gotten like 0s and -1s before.
So natural 1. Oh yeah, I've rolled 0s before.
So that's actually 6.
So
for me.
6.
17.
Did you roll?
7.
19.
19. Okay. Lindsay?
I see.
Rolled a 9. I rolled
I got a 14.
a modified 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Thank you, Jedi's.
Way better
So,
than
yeah.
mine. I don't know how that happened.
So the Jedi actually notice there is like a holotable for like those holographic chess games that they have in Star Wars. There's a holotable, and leaning up
I-
against it while sitting down, you
I know
see
there's a name for that.
they're Djarik.
Djarik. That's
You
right.
see somebody, a human, actually just directly make eye contact with your group as you walk in. Let me describe her for you. She has brown hair and a ponytail. From this distance, you can also see it's slightly dimly lit in here, but you see she has orange eyes, is wearing a purple makeup around it. She has tan skin, a dark jacket, like a black jacket with some green accents, and a fur-lined neckline. She's got kind of a sand-colored shirt underneath it. Wearing black pants and a utility belt, and she's just like looking straight at you guys with sort of this smirk on her face.
So no drinking.
What was that,
No.
Lindsay?
Do we recognize her?
No, but she's looking straight at you guys.
There's something about that woman.
You
over
didn't
there.
notice it.
What?
You didn't
Oh.
notice. It's just the Jedi.
Sorry.
Kind of whispered Lindsay's character will be like, do you notice that one over there?
I'm gonna kind of just nod my head and just be aware of her watching us and see if she makes any moves towards us. But I'm not gonna guide the group towards her.
No.
I'm just gonna kind of let her be, but
I might kind of, as I'll follow her lead, and I'll kind of drop behind her and kind of like herd the rest of the group, kind of like keep an eye on her, but I'll kind of.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like point her out right
as
away.
you
I'll
keep
just
an
kind
eye,
of, like,
as you're keeping an eye on her, she kind of gives you a little finger wave.
I'll give her a little finger wave back.
Okay. So where are you herding people to? Like to the bartender, or because she's off to like the side, to the left side of the room.
If there's some kind of like large table or some smaller tables together that we could just sit at.
There are a couple smaller tables off to the other side of the cantina. Yeah, that you can be. And this cantina is a bit different, like the one at
Terrace.
On Terrace, in that the bar is kind of at the back of the room, and the band is to the left of that. And so their tables kind of spread out in the middle, and there are actually stairs in the back that you can see kind of heads up to an upstairs area. Different than the layout than on Terrace. So you can there's a couple of tables off just to the right of the bar that you can sit down at.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take a position where she can see like everyone in the room by the like looking towards the door.
Okay.
And just like scanning the room.
All right, gotcha.
Can I look? I kind of want to move away from the group and use telepathic link on the woman.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And I just kind of want to say hello.
And she's been tracking your group across the room the whole time. And so can she like respond?
Yes.
Okay.
So until the power ends, whenever me and the target see each other, we can communicate with the other via telepathy.
Okay. I will also say you notice that she has sort of a kind of a dim blue aura around her.
Okay.
Sort of on the light, but a little not like super good heart. Actually, she's actually a little bit of a deeper blue, especially more so than the others around here.
Yeah.
She kind of like looks around a little bit, almost pleasantly surprised. Well, hello.
I'm gonna give her like a little finger wave again.
She does it back. Hello. Good to see you
Why are
guys
you-
here.
Why are you staring at us?
Well, partially because I know what you guys are doing here, and I'm here to help. It's amazing what 3 hours ahead of you guys can get me. Yeah.
Do I say, do I notice them like looking at each other and like finger waving and stuff?
Yeah, I'd say because you've
Okay,
noticed already.
yeah.
It's
I'm just like watching them like back and
Feels
forth.
me.
I'm like,
Have
what
a
is
good
going
day.
on? Like,
it's like the worst staring contest because she doesn't have any eyes. Like
I know, basically, like I just see them like looking like at it, and I'm just kind of staring back and forth between them, not knowing, but.
I'm going to let's see. You already have 3 hours from Carrick Station, eh?
Oh yeah. Interesting. I got here 3 hours ahead of you guys. It's amazing what that can get me.
Are you trying to intimidate me?
No, I'm trying to help you.
Can we take a hyperdrive? That's what I was thinking.
Why would you even offer in the first place? You seem so competent already.
Partially because it's my job to do this for you guys.
What? It's your job, really.
Yeah. Come on over here and I can talk to you guys more about it. This doing the head thing is a little weird for me. I'm not used to this.
The head thing?
She kind of like smiles a little bit and she's like, it takes some getting used to.
Why don't you come over here?
Do you know the Zabrak with us?
Yep. I know who all of you guys are.
I feel
How?
violated.
Well, I am not really surprised that you know who we are, because let's just say we're not really erring on the side of stealth.
No.
And probably around this point in the conversation, Coda goes,
Barkeep, I'ma need me some liquids because I'm a fish out of water.
It's her face in her hands. Just shakes her head like, oh my gosh.
Maybe it's kind of like annoyed, but at the same time she can't help but laugh a little bit, so she's trying to stifle it.
So, Austin, so the bartender, you said the bartender's in the back, and we're on the opposite side from this lady.
Yeah, so like the Dejarik table she's at is kind of like towards the front of the cantina, in the middle on the left side. You guys are more towards the back right, next to the bar area.
And I wouldn't have just shouted, I would have been making my way to the bar.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Barkeep.
What?
I will place some credits on the table and say, how much does, like, the average drink cost? Like, how many credits?
That's an excellent question.
How much Juma juice? Tell me.
Give me a second.
You know they have a drink called Dragon Juice in Star Wars?
Really?
Yep. I had to look this up for research purposes.
You have any death sticks?
You don't want to sell death sticks.
Dragon juice.
What?
She went like this.
No, I know. I'm saying what?
I'll tell you when you're
I
older.
look up Star Wars things.
No, it's the dragon juice.
Oh.
I'm just gonna call it, we'll just call it 20 credits.
Okay, and I'm going to put down 100 credits on the bar.
Holy.
And say, give 5 drinks to 5 people, please.
You're telling the bartender?
Yes.
Bartender's like, it's a portly gentleman. He's like, alright, yeah, hey, you guys. He calls over some waiters and starts pouring.
Thank you, guys. And in the confusion of what is happening at the bar, I'm going to head towards our friend.
I would say at this point, y'all have noticed that you sat down here and you haven't started doing anything, and that one of your group members is making their way over to the
I say no one said anything.
So you make your way over to the Dejarik table.
What is Sayatov doing?
As they
I
start
stand up and walk over.
as they start to like notice her walking over, Asta Pace is gonna stand up and be like, "Whoa! Look at the band! Look at the like!" Try to distract them. Let's get drinks, everybody. Let's.
Hello, the bar.
trying to like somehow not get them focused on.
Roll performance.
Oh no!
Oh shoot! I wanted to do something and I totally
3.
forgot my.
So everybody, for some reason, as the Payas is trying to distract y'all, he's actually very out of character.
No, I'm
You
walking
know I don't
over.
drink.
I'm gonna stop halfway there and
What?
say, "Can you please not?"
Oh, like you did the same thing to me on Terrace.
Yes.
And how you didn't.
At this point,
Everyone seems a little cranky.
At this
Let's
point-
get some drinks.
at this point, the woman stands up from the table, walks over to the two of you who are halfway there, puts her arms around your shoulders, says, "Why don't we talk with the whole group? Out loud, not in our heads."
Of course we're talking out loud. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna pat the woman's hand and say, "That sounds like a great idea."
Yeah, let's go over. And she leads you back over the table, pulls up a chair from another table, sits down. As some dude's trying to sit down, she pulls the chair out.
Like her.
I
Hello.
beg your pardon.
Hi.
Who are you?
My name is Kalia Freen. I am an information broker with the BBA. And I was the one assigned to this particular mission after you guys accepted it. Luckily, I was able to get here a couple hours before you guys did, and did a little bit of digging around here.
What'd you find?
Well, a lot of people recognize the description of the woman you guys are looking for. She frequented here a couple of times, meeting a couple different people. They didn't really hear much. Except there was a lot of talk about, especially in the most recent one, where did they say it? If only I could remember where they said she was going.
How much?
How far away is the conversation happening from the bar?
Just only a few feet.
She wants credits.
I already said how much.
I know.
Ooh, you know, it's a rough
I
guy.
take off my scarf and say, "This is my sister. You're bargaining with my sister's life."
I kind of do that already, you know. It's sort of my job. An information broker. This doesn't come free.
I put 100 credits in front of her.
So how many? What's your price?
A little more than that.
Ravrii is holding her dagger very, very tightly in her hand and just staring her down.
500 credits.
How many credits did she say?
She said 500, but Miria's already paid it.
Okay.
I put 600 in front of her.
Oh, very generous. Thank you very much.
There's some interest now. Speak up.
Yes. All right. So, anyway, yeah, she was in here. Last time anyone saw her, they saw her talking with a guy. They couldn't really remember. He had a hood up, couldn't see his face. But they mentioned something about the Jurn Mountains northeast and a cave. Lots of really angry talk too, like talking about revolution, maybe. Sort of gung ho, free Alderaan type stuff.
How long was she here?
Ever or just that night?
That night.
They said she was here for only a few minutes, maybe about half an hour. Shorter than she normally spent here. Spent a lot of time here, meeting people, talking, drinking.
You don't have a location, do you?
Best I got was Jurn Mountains northeast of here, towards House Alda.
Would I know that area?
Yeah, you would know where that is. You haven't, you don't know it personally, you've never explored it, but you know, the Jurn Mountains is actually the mountain range connecting to the House Organa, but it's a pretty sizable mountain range. It goes out a ways, but you did say towards House Alda, and you know where that's at.
I would say House Alda seems like a good suspect, or at least the lead.
House Alda is one of House Organa's allies.
So many friggin' houses.
I know, right?
That's why you take notes when the DM offers you information.
Yeah, and guess what? You still named a whole bunch of people.
You could ask for
Doesn't mean I can keep them straight.
It's okay.
You can always ask for clarification. I have my notes right here.
Going all Game of Thrones on this.
So was she seen here the last day? She was seen.
I mean, if I remember my information correctly, yeah, about 9 months ago she was here. Met some guy. They talked. She left on her own, and then last anybody saw her. The other guy went out another way. There's like a back end. Well, yeah, there's a back entrance that way. You cut out. What was that?
But I said, I don't suppose you have any other information you're just willing to share?
No, not really. That's all I was able to get. A lot of the people didn't remember her very well.
Do they have security cameras here?
No.
Insight?
Insight or perception, either one.
Okay.
You can look around to see if there are security cameras, or you can check to see if she's lying.
So you're one of those security bears.
I was saying they could have cameras.
There are a couple bouncers.
Just, they're just hidden.
No, like stuffed animals that have hidden cameras in them.
If you'd like to look, you can.
That's a 10 on seeing if she's lying.
Hard to tell.
Say what bar doesn't have security cameras?
I mean, there are plenty. You haven't seen some of the dives I've been in. You have to go to some really seedy places to get information in my job. Whoop.
Ever been to...
What was that?
Ever been to what?
Nar Shaddaa? I'm talking to Miria.
No.
That's the kind of place.
I can tell.
There's some real seedy places there.
She just looks at you like, what the heck? But doesn't say anything.
Thank you.
Very welcome. I'll keep doing some digging while I'm here. Maybe I can find some more information. That was all I was able to get, but hey, it's more than the cops got.
Figures.
You gotta know how to talk to these people, and I know how to talk to these people.
Obviously.
Red language.
I'm glad you do know how to talk to these people.
Same.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So, that's what I got for you. Northeastern Mountains. There might be some spots to park your ship up there. It's a decent trek, so I would maybe go get your ship and head over that way.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna stay here, see if I can dig up some more information while you're in the city.
Alright.
I'll give her my hollow frequency so she can contact me.
Say that again?
She's gonna give her the hollow frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, very obliged. And here's mine. She gives you hers in case you find something, or if that way you recognize me when I call.
Call me.
So call me, baby.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. If you want to page me? It's okay.
So, shall we go?
Finishes
Let's
his drink.
go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go over to the bar really quick. Is the barkeeper there?
Yeah, he's there.
Do you guys have any security cameras here?
No. You would think that we would, given what we, but a lot of weird stuff happens here.
That's why you should have them.
Yeah, but when it comes to politicians, they like to keep things discreet, so.
Invest, for Christ's sake.
I've been forbidden to.
Yeah.
The Organas ain't as high and mighty as they say they are.
She just walks away. People are stupid. And go back to the group.
Let's go. Let's go.
As we're walking out of the building, can I look around and see if there are any cameras in the surrounding area?
There are cameras like on the streets, yes. You do remember that they mentioned they hadn't picked up anything on the security cameras regarding like kind of street cams sort of deals.
Where should it go? What direction?
Yeah.
That seems so weird that they like wouldn't be able to pick up anything.
Somebody must have fiddled with the information.
Yeah.
Where would we go to access the street cameras? Do you know, Ravrii?
Would I know?
I'd say there's like a local security police thing back at House Organa.
There's something back at the Organas, but
It's kind of like the police station is sort of in the estate.
Well, I mean, we have to head back there anyways to get our ship if we're going to take our ship up there. So...
Technically, your ship is in the opposite direction. It's more west of the estate.
yeah, because we walked up to the estate.
I personally want to see if I can look into that security footage myself, because I don't believe there's any way none of the security cameras would have caught her. Even one must have gotten her somewhere.
I'm inclined to agree with that. At least if they... Because our contact said that she left out the front doors, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if there's no footage of her leaving out of the front doors, then either our contact lied to us or somebody tampered with the evidence.
I might be able to figure that out. So I say we go check that out before we get our ship.
I think it's a good idea.
I'm down.
Will it get us anywhere, though? We know
We
where she is, presumably.
We might know of someone else who might be with her, if at all.
True.
Or if she went alone.
Well, and if we could find footage of the back door of the building, then we might be able to figure out who she was talking to that day.
Yep.
That's true.
Because from what I understand, no one really knew who she was talking to.
Are we going to go back to the Organa house then? Are we in agreement?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alright,
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go back.
So you guys turn to House Organa. And Ravrii, you know where like the security station is. It's not that far off the lobby. You're met by a security officer there who's like sort of a mid 30s, well built human man. Who's like, excuse me, can I help you?
Getting the disappearance of the daughter of Koga and Asta.
We need access to your security cameras.
I see. May I see some identification?
I pull up mine.
Oh. I see. Yeah. Go on inside.
That's what I thought.
There with me.
So you go inside, and there is sort of a security desk. You show your ID, tell him who you are, and the guy kind of moves aside, gives you like another monitor. He's like, you can look into it, but there's not much there.
Is there a way that, like, I don't know if it'd be like hacking or whatever, like, we can, once we find the footage from that night, if I can like tell if it's been tampered with? I guess once we find it first.
So he pulls up the footage for you because he knows
Yeah.
what to do, and he pulls it up, and
And are we able to like see like from different like angles, like different cameras?
yeah, there's plenty of angles. In fact, they kind of have it in a file. The guy pulls up, he's like, we see her walk out the front door, and you see it actually. You see this. She walks out the front door. She's, again, similar height, a little shorter than Ravrii. Similar facial structure, facial designs as well. Older than the girl you saw in the painting, obviously. You see her walk out the front door, just kind of normally. It's like, and this is the weird part. He kind of goes to the camera angles, and you recognize the streets. There's kind of a couple of major streets on the way to there. The cameras are pointed basically in the opposite direction all the way down there, and then they'll rotate back, and there's no sign of her. They're kind of like on this constant moving pattern, and they just like, she kind of avoided the cameras entirely. Even when she got to the cantina, we got nothing of her coming out.
All of the cameras? Like, how many cameras are there between the house and the cantina?
About 6.
She avoided all of them?
Well, except for the one at the front door, but that one doesn't move.
Seemed it was planned.
Is there a way I can like tell if like the footage has been tampered with?
Yeah, you can roll a technology check to see if you can check this.
Go. I am going to give guidance. I have this ability.
Oh,
Thank you.
Temporary boost.
cool.
Right?
So that does what again?
1d4.
1d4 to the check.
Technology.
And I'm just going to do it like a little spritz of
Okay.
culto. Or not, like, just like a stimulant. Just like,
Where's a free
Yeah.
support? Not that my goggles, please. Okay. That's a 21.
21? Okay. You do a little bit of digging into the subroutines and looking into the programming. Does not seem to be any sort of tampering.
Damn it.
You can tell by looking at it that there is kind of like a set path. Actually, no, that is not true. There is a sort of tampering to it because they are sort of on like a set pattern, but they're supposed to go in a way that they'll all line up. Like if one's looking this way, another one over here will be looking in that direction, and same, so that everything's always covered. But it appears that over time there was a slight like delay added, just very slight, so that over like the span of maybe a couple of weeks or so, they would start to get off and not overlap. And so it seems as though on this particular night is when they would get it, so that they wouldn't overlap.
Something about the camera's patterns is off. Was your sister good with technology at all?
It wasn't her forte. I mean, I taught her to sneak around, but not like this.
So it might not.
Help.
Yeah,
Did you help her?
What? Me?
Did you do it?
I don't. I'm just.
I have a gun.
I'm
I will
new.
shoot you.
I'm new.
Kota.
Not a bitch.
Can I ask something?
Go ahead.
Are there any cameras pointing towards the back entrance of the cantina?
New.
And any like surrounding that in any of that general area?
I mean, just kind of the normal street cams, but nothing pointed directly at the back of the cantina.
Oh, because I wanted to see if there was anybody who had like a hood or something leaving around the same time, because that's what.
For like showing up before.
Yeah, like our contact said that they never saw the person's face because they had a hood. So I was thinking like, well, if they have a hood, maybe we can like follow them on the camera or something.
As you look through the footage, you do see like a couple people with hoods, but it's also, it's winter now, but even up on the cliffs, it gets pretty cold normally, and it was at night, so there's quite a few people wearing hoods, nothing distinguishable. Kind of like trying to keep the cold off.
That doesn't help much.
Did you have any maintenance done on your security facility in the last couple months?
I mean, not long after the disappearance, we had some maintenance done, yeah.
Anything before that?
I mean, we would get kind of a regularly scheduled maintenance sort of thing just to make sure everything's running properly.
Do you always get the same person to do the maintenance, or is it somebody new every time?
From what I understand, it's sort of the same people, you know, kind of the House Organa tech people.
Who else has access to this room?
I mean, I'm just one of a number of guys who works here. Basically, any of the guys on the police or security detail come in through here. Because this is just kind of the.
Recently?
What was that?
Any of them gone missing recently?
No.
Everybody's showing up to work, doing their jobs?
I mean, occasionally somebody will get sick. It's kind of like, it's cold, people get sick, and some people die.
Yeah, it's crazy cold here.
Sometimes the guys go in to join the militia and the army and sort of deal with the war, but yeah, that happens.
Anyone do that 9 months ago?
I mean, I came in after that, so I can't really say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I help you find her.
Well,
me too.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot. Something happened with those cameras, but I don't know how that helps us at all.
She had help or she was set up.
Well, shall we fly to the
Yeah,
cave?
To the mountain.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Shayla? Jeez.
I said, let's go back to the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, return to the ship. Get in. Yeah, it's fine like normal.
I give directions.
Yep. You guys climb aboard, and as you take off, you get out of the spaceport, you get clearance to land, and you hear a small disturbance in the cargo hold.
I'm gonna investigate that.
Okay? You go back there, and you've got like big crates with like some of your supplies, your food and your water and stuff like that. You hear a small disturbance behind you. You hear a shaking, and some scratching, and what appears to be eating sounds.
Oh no.
I have my blaster out.
Okay.
I get my bow ready.
Okay. You break out your weapons. Is anybody? Because it's behind the boxes. There's big stacks of them. Anybody gonna investigate further?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go around the corner.
I'll flank around the other side.
Okay. You both come around, and you see that one of the crates of your food has been knocked over and has fallen open, and you see a very small quadruped creature with these sort of odd, almost chicken-like legs, but the body is furry, big bushy tail, big round head, pointed ears, and a big old mouth, just like.
Do I recognize?
It's a little cat, isn't it?
Is this a cat?
Yes, basically. But I would say no. It's actually called. It's actually called a tuca cat. Like it's basically the same, but.
Oh.
Gotta bring my sonic rifle up.
I put mine away. Kota?
Hold still.
I walk forward. Can I pick it up?
Roll an animal handling check.
Stay careful. It might be rabid. Or feral.
Good animal. 13.
Okay, you go to pick it up and it it sort of like kind of like hisses and backs away from you.
I get down on my knees and just hold out my hand to it.
Who left the door open?
Okay.
Probably.
I don't remember who was the last of the ship.
Why you blaming me?
It's doing. Its hair is starting to stay. It's doing that like back archy thingy that cats do. It's like looking at you, especially your voice is not pleasing to it.
I'm like, notice this. I'm like,
Its back is doing something weird. Let me help it out.
Like claws up at you.
I'm gonna pull out like some rations or something
Okay.
and just kind of hold out. It's okay. Come here. It's okay.
Roll an animal handling check.
how many of the rations is gone?
It didn't look like it got into much.
Oh boy. That's less than what I think Shayla got. Yeah, that's 11.
It's sort of like tentative. It's still like kind of looking around. There's a lot of people here.
I'm just gonna just set it down on the ground.
Move forward, sniff it.
Shut up.
Gildas, can we leave? Can we get on our way?
Yeah, we got
Is it blocking the ship?
It's in the cargo hold. It's in the back.
Oh, it's in the ship.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the ship.
Oh,
It's in the back.
okay.
Cockpit's undisturbed.
We can probably go. We'll deal with this lot cats or Tuka cat. Sorry.
Can I,
On the way.
I'm gonna take a box, kind of empty it out.
Don't do it.
Just like the bottom, not like to smash it, but like to trap
Trap
it.
it.
I figured you weren't trying to murder
Roll up
this
the
cat.
percentile, you're holding the box,
Are
right?
you holding the box?
Give me
Wow. Smash it
With
with
a
a
hammer.
It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Could be a grapple.
I'm just gonna call this a dexterity check. Roll me a dexterity check. See if you're faster than it.
That's a no. I was
What would you
close
roll?
to- That's
5 plus,
7.
so 7.
Oh, actually, yeah, 7.
7. Okay.
Nice.
It rolled an 8. It didn't roll very well either, but it's just slightly faster than you, and it jumps out of the way.
Can I try
I
to catch
catch
it?
that bird at work.
You're trying to
They
catch
never
it.
caught it, by the way.
Oh my god.
Sure, go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
I think maybe Dex and Ravrii should be at the cockpit. Get us going. We'll deal with the cat.
Don't kill it. I'll give directions to where we're supposed to go.
That. Just
Can I use calm emotions on a
Dexterity
cat?
Does it say humanoid or creature?
I don't know, actually.
Because there is a difference.
I think it's creature, maybe? But let me see.
Take a look at it. What'd you roll?
Oh, no, it's a humanoid. Dang it. Okay, never mind.
Just your dexterity.
Dexterity check, so yeah, it would be.
It'd be plus that. Okay.
Yeah.
So. I can't math. 7 plus 4. My brain is shutting off.
That's
12.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rolled a 60.
Are you kidding me?
You're
So
right,
you gotta
sorry.
get in and it jumps out of the way and starts to like run around in the
Yeah.
cargo hold, like
The thing is.
keeping on its
my
toes.
dex are
I'm gonna close the cargo hold doors.
Okay.
this thing is not getting out.
Oh.
Alive.
Oh.
Um,
I think we should just let it out, but okay.
You're already in the air.
Huh?
Y'all are already in the air.
I'm gonna
We decided
Oh,
we'd take off and just try and deal with
gotcha.
this.
I'm gonna
thing.
like start just put a hand on one of my stun grenades.
No.
Just in case things
So was it
Yeah,
humanoids,
Jedi,
Lindsay?
You can do this.
Humanoid.
No.
Can't you like use the force or something and stop it from moving?
I have a lightsaber.
Yes, give me that.
No!
Not the lightsaber, the force, or whatever the thing is.
Just pick it up and then put it in the box and then cover the lid.
Well,
Stop
I
it
have
from
like,
moving so we can strap it in a box.
Hold, please. Let me look at my force powers here.
That's it. Somebody use the force.
I don't
Let's
think
see.
I want to use turbulence in a ship. Or tremor.
No, I don't
No.
think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You killed the cat yet?
Nope.
No. Not yet.
I'm about ready to.
Cat's elusive.
I bet my mom would go
I mean, I try to just pick it up. I don't have any force.
I tried to
Can I-
stop it.
Said DP was
Okay, here's what I can maybe do something.
What is it?
I will tell Coda to put the box on the ground a few feet from the cat if he can.
Okay, yeah, the cat's just backing away. looking
With
at
the
you.
with the side of the like it facing, like rotating it 90 degrees so that the entrance the top of the box is
Facing
on
the
the
cat.
side. And then I will try to force pull it into the box.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna get a lid ready.
Is this saving throw on that?
I can use the force to move a medium or smaller creature or object not being worn or carried within range. It must make a strength saving throw.
Okay. That is a 12.
That fails!
So just...
So,
As soon as it gets in, I close the lid.
All right, you close the lid on it, and you can hear it. It seems scared and a little bit unhappy. It's like scratching, like trying to jostle the box a little bit.
Quiet you.
And I take it we're already underway.
Yeah, you're already on.
Okay.
And you're heading so this cat, as you're flying, a quick scan of the mountain range. Actually, the planetary map will have it. It's not something you get when you dock. It's a mountain range. It's pretty decently long, but there are more. It's known that there are more cave systems in the northeast side of the mountains, closer towards House Alda. So you guys are making your way out there, and it'll take you about an hour to get over there. And while you guys are flying over in that direction, and this cat starts to calm down a little bit, we're gonna take a quick break so I can go use the bathroom. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back very quickly.
Mission.
Wunderbar.
Intermission. Yeah.
Oh, camera.
I'm super full. I'll split one with you.
I just saw it just going down.
Coming on.
Get action shots.
You're the best.
What's happening here? It's disconnecting. Why?
it's just like a
Bumped it.
4-pack or
Yeah, but it
something.
shouldn't be disconnecting. Like it's fine. There we go. All right. You are.
Oh, I hate
We're not gonna kill the cat.
So does our ship have a drop chute?
Alex!
No! You guys are horrible.
We could always use for target practice.
Drop the box outside the ship as we're flying. Oh my god.
Oh.
Or we can load it into the torpedo bay. I'm sure we have a torpedo
Oh
bay.
my gosh.
I'm not sure we
Two.
do.
I don't actually know that we do.
We don't.
Spencer, can we get a torpedo bay?
Not right now.
Nope.
Now.
Clearly. Pardon me. Just
We're gonna drop everything we're doing to get a torpedo bay.
Hey, we could be like that Toy Story, like Lotso, like tie it to the front and just
Oh
like
gosh.
the little.
Fish.
It's like Lotso.
Like a trucker?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This really nice
Ooh.
cruise ship. We're gonna put on a cat.
Tied to the.
Oh no.
You're incorrigible.
This is why we're not handling the cat.
This bean.
No.
Break, you want to hear funny?
Yes.
Of all the nights to stream, there are 2 other Star Wars streams for tabletop RPGs.
Really?
Yes, at the same time. We all have the same like viewership. We're all kind of together,
Oh
so
my gosh.
staying strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars tabletop tonight.
I don't think they're not all like 5e. Like one is the what's the actual? There's a
There's
different.
like an actual one, like an official.
Oh yeah, you're in the bathroom. I was just saying, tonight of all the nights, there are 2 other Star Wars tabletop RPG streams right now.
Really?
Yes, but they're not 5e. They're like the what's the one we played where I was the drunk Wookiee?
Oh, I forget what it's called.
But it's one of them's those, and then one of them's like, it's called like Star Wars D20. It's like
Oh,
5e,
interesting.
but it's like a different.
Where do we
it's-
fall in relation to those?
We're all about the same.
Okay.
They have. Okay.
All of us are under Puppet D&D.
Puppet D&D?
It's D&D, but they all their characters are puppets.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
Total puppet chaos. Apparently, I looked that up. So.
Hey, Paul. My mom likes the torpedo idea.
Yeah.
What are you? What?
We're trying to plan what to do with the cat.
He wants to tape it to the front of the ship. I want to launch it out of a torpedo bay that we get eventually.
You don't have a torpedo.
Do we have a drop chute?
A drop chute?
Yeah.
You have a cargo. You have a cargo bay door that opens and closes to put cargo in, but.
Do we have like a trash vent?
Is this like an RV?
You have a place where trash goes that gets offloaded whenever you dock.
Dumpster.
What do you want, Emily?
What to do with this cat? Can I load it in my grenade launcher?
No.
Oh. Do you want a cookie, Spence?
Sure.
I don't want to just pet it.
I
just want to see.
I tried.
Let's make a goal. Could we all put like 5 credits in, and whoever gets to pet it first or lets it pet it, we can get them on.
I'm actually kind of down
for that, honestly.
Marvin's back.
I'm here.
All right.
Pleasantly warm.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to open the window?
No, it feels good.
It's nice?
It feels good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
don't know what crumble means by a buttermilk pancake flavored cookie. The picture makes it look like there's like a pat of butter in the middle of the cookie. But I know that that's not the case, but like, it still weirds me out though. What would a buttermilk pancake cookie even taste like?
Probably like buttermilk pancakes.
You need syrup, I guess? I don't know.
Buttermilk pancakes.
But then why not just call it a maple syrup cookie at that point?
Well, I think it tastes like buttermilk pancakes, which do taste pretty good. I mean, I can't describe a buttermilk pancake taste, but...
Very
I can't describe how a buttermilk pancake would taste in a cookie.
From the buttermilk?
Yeah, in a cookie, I'm not sure, but we'd have to try it.
Just, like, bright, perhaps.
No, you don't need to go.
I wouldn't say tangy.
Alright.
Buttermilk is acidic.
We are going to...
But you're right, tangy is not quite the right word.
We're gonna hop back in. So it's an hour flight. You guys, it's a starship. It can move pretty quickly.
I already.
Over the course of about, I'd say, 20 minutes, the cat calms down inside the box.
Can I search the HoloNet on how to handle Tuca cats?
Sure.
I don't know, maybe like food they like or behaviors.
Roll
or I
a
don't
lore
know.
check.
Pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah, look up
I linked it
YouTube.
on YouTube. Holotube.
What'd you say?
Lore.
A lore?
Chocolate chip.
Lore.
Sugar.
Ooh, that's a 26.
26.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, you find Tuca cats. I mean,
Dang.
Tuca
19
cats
plus
will eat a
7.
lot of things. There are certain things they shouldn't eat, you know, like most
course.
cats and most animals. I think they shouldn't eat.
The entire box it just broke into.
Yeah. Well, the
MRE
stuff you broke
rations.
into, those kind of stuff is more like general sustenance, not so much in terms of like. It's not like a super nice salad or anything sweet. It's pretty much for basic sustenance. So it is something that it could potentially eat. It's definitely not the best thing for it, but.
Is there a way to like, do I find any like how to like handle like cats, like say like, you know, if you're gonna encounter like a stray one or a
Definitely
wild one?
certain an air of calm, of friendliness.
I feel like this is a direct
patience.
attack on me.
Yeah, but the opposite of Coda.
Okay.
Thanks,
Find
dude.
one hillbilly
Appreciate it.
channel that says go for the legs. And
Can I try it?
You do come across some of those.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can pick it up by the legs and then you slice its throat, you skin it, and you got yourself a good eating it.
Jeez Louise.
Can I try and telepathically talk to the cat? I don't even know if I can do that.
I believe those kind of spells require the cat to speak. It does not.
I lost my spells. I gotta go back and find them.
So is the box closed? Like, is
Box
it
is
trapped in a
closed.
box?
It was kind of jostling it for a bit, scratching at it. After about 20 minutes, it stops moving, and it seems as though it's not like
It's given up.
in very much distress. At least it doesn't seem to be.
Can I open the box just a little bit and try to stick my hand in and pet it?
I have an ability that I can use if I get it on my next long rest.
Okay.
I want to see if I can.
Gonna get your
Lose
hands
a hand.
scratched.
Roll an animal handling check.
Is like I'm gonna stand next to him just to kind of make sure he is.
Oh,
tied.
I can't. Wait, can I? Oh, wait, no, I don't know.
That was a lot.
I can telepathically communicate with the cat. Oh my gosh.
he handled that animal.
You can?
Yeah! It says you don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand, and the creature understands you even if it lacks a language.
Okay. But, okay, before you do that, does a 19 hit?
It can't talk back, but I can...
You take 1 point of kinetic damage as it...
Yep. Scratch.
Sorry, I got really excited there. I'm sorry.
You're good. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for looking that up. Normally those kind of spells...
You can talk to the kitty!
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yay!
Okay, I will try and talk to it and try to calm it down.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Do it. Please do it.
Do it.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Nope. I got a natural 1.
No! We are not getting through this.
So it can't communicate back, but you can tell that it's scared. It's a little... It's very scared right now.
I think we should probably just set it free when we land.
Yeah.
You would know Tuca cats are not native to Alderaan.
Oh.
Set it
Well,
free.
where are they native to?
Set it free into the mountains.
Yeah, where
There are other worlds that they're native to.
Sorry.
It varies, but Alderaan is not one of them. So
Unlikely. Are they native to any of the planets that we have been to?
Nope.
Well, then how did it get here?
This is a second-hand ship.
I would imagine smuggled, or perhaps someone brought it from another planet, maybe kept it as a pet or something.
We get a bounty for a missing cat.
Found it!
If only we hadn't killed it. Oh no.
Let me see. Dax, you're the most observant and one of the smart people. Roll a lore check for me.
Alrighty.
I'm only the one that works on the phone. Thank you very much.
Well, this is a different reason.
That's a 10.
It's 10?
Not so smart.
Well, it's... Let me think about this.
If
You have
I'm
a
helping
vague
you, like-
recollection of seeing something on Carrick Station with, like, cages of animals. You're not entirely sure where you saw it,
Wow.
but you remembered seeing something with animals of different varying sizes and species.
Like walking by? Is it we walk?
You kind of walked by it at some point.
Well, I'm determined to figure this whole cat out.
Oh, have we landed yet?
Not quite yet. I'd say it's about the 30-minute mark. So there's still about half an hour left before you guys get there.
I'm gonna open the box just a little. Does it look like it's calm? Like it's just kind of sitting
No.
there? No.
It's in the curled up, looking up, defensive position.
Backed in a corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give it some food, leave it alone for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I have some rations I can give it, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like I
don't know.
said, pull out some more rations and just kind of just slip it in there
Okay.
and kind of just watch it.
It doesn't touch him at first, but after a few minutes, it starts to nibble at him.
Okay. As it's like nibbling the food, I kind of want to reach in and see if I can like kind of just stroke its back a little bit, just to kind of maybe calm it down.
Roll another animal handling check.
Oh boy.
I didn't think this would be the thing that would stump you guys so much, but
Our rolls are
It's the
terrible.
dice. It's ruining
you guys
us.
have rolled nat 20s and insanely good on certain things, and now
Dex, try it.
Someone doesn't want us to kill the cat.
We have a ship cat.
17.
I
okay.
absolutely want it to be our mascot, please.
Alright, so
I'm so into it.
it's nibbling down on it, and you manage to touch its back, and
And I was kind of like, it's so. Can I tell if it's a boy or a girl?
I would say in the chaos you have not seen.
I haven't checked the plumbing.
No.
Okay. It's okay, little one. It's okay. You're safe. I'm just kind of just speaking in a soothing tone, hoping that
Okay.
might calm it a little bit.
It's a little calm. Still a little on edge. You can kind of feel it tensing, but
Okay, I'm just gonna just keep stroking it until it kind of relaxes a little bit.
okay. You keep that up for a few minutes. Eventually, it
I'm just sitting by the box, just kind of.
okay. It's not purring, but
Yeah.
it's a little less on edge.
Spencer's got something.
Yeah, Spencer.
After we land, I would like to try to pet the cat
The
as
cat.
well.
Okay. Is there anything
Make
else?
the
anyone-
cat captain cat.
It'll be.
It'll be my parrot.
But nicely done getting the cat.
Yeah.
didn't get
So
I mean,
after you guys
Oh.
land, yeah, Dex comes back, and I will say real quick, actually, Spencer, hold on to that check for me real quick. I see you laughing. I don't hear you laughing.
Rolled really good, but we'll continue.
Okay, come back to that in a minute. I want you to roll for me a scan check from your ship.
Scan. All right. Let me switch
Is that Barry?
seats here.
I think it is Barry. Yes. Hi, Barry.
Peter Pettigrew.
Hi, Barry.
And all right.
I don't know if Barry.
20.
Barry's our cousin.
He's our cousin.
Barry, I have an uncle named Barry.
Dang it. That is only an 11.
Only an 11? Okay, it takes you a bit after you get there to find a suitable clearing of trees. It takes you about 15 minutes kind of looking, scanning, and eventually you do find a place kind of cramped, but a place you can set your ship down. Not far from the mountain. It's kind of like in the mountains at a sort of elevated portion. And eventually you set down there. What did you roll for the animal handling check?
I got a 21.
21. Okay. After
Wait,
you-
no. I take that back. 22.
22. Okay. So after you
Dang.
sit there for a few minutes scratching the thing and let it sit, Dex just kind of walks back very confidently, reaches down, pets it, and it's sort of like he hits that sweet spot, and the cat just like.
Really?
You softened it up for him.
I've had a thing with animals.
And why didn't you help out before?
Because we were flying.
Someone has to fly the ship.
How about an autopilot?
No, Coda. No.
You can fly it once.
Once.
But that's
You'll fly it once and the ship will never
Yep.
fly again.
TPK. Self-inflicted.
Yay. Does it seem like it's like safe to try and like pick it up?
You can try.
Do I have to roll again? rolling in.
No, you're good at this
no?
point.
Okay.
You go and you pick it up and it's. Well, how are you picking it up?
Physical name. Like when you pick up like a kitten or a puppy, like kind of underneath its
Okay,
front
yeah,
arm,
it kind of
just
goes
kinda-
around.
I kind of hold it in front of me, kind of like this, you know.
It's like sniffing you, and like
Hi.
nuzzles just a little bit against your mantra.
Oh, see, you're not so bad. You're good. You're good.
And as I walk towards the exit,
Would I know what planets they're native to, or did I not figure that out in my research? Check the wiki.
Because you did roll pretty.
Where are you from? Tuka cats.
No, I don't want to click on that freaking target ad. No! Click on the exit button. Fine, that exit button's a lie.
The,
Camera. Target follows you.
don't you love that store, Austin?
What?
Target.
Target?
Love
Not really.
I love where your face hits on the camera. Looks like you're just peeking. It's creepy.
Maybe I'll check Legends. See if Legends knows anything.
These cats are a
I'm
mystery.
I'm going to exit the ship.
I'm just gonna say there are a lot.
A lot of planets, but apparently not Alderaan.
We'll say some on Ryloth. They're common in Coruscant, but they're not native to Coruscant. They just kind of ended up there, kind of the best. We'll say Chandrilla. You can also find them on places like Nar Shaddaa, but not.
Okay.
Plenty of other planets where they're kind of like not an invasive species, but they're pretty widespread.
You're just in Alderaan places.
Yep, Alderaan places.
I know.
The name of the stream.
I know. Original joke. Ha ha ha.
Alright. So Ravrii's exiting the ship.
I'm leaving as well. I have no enough for this cat.
So, yeah, we're going.
I'm keeping it.
Okay. Are you going to exit the ship with the cat?
Yes.
Really?
I don't want to leave it on the ship. It could destroy our stuff again.
We'll put it in the box.
Can I use my great animal handling check to give it a command to basically behave?
I'll have to roll another animal handling check to see if it will listen to you, but I would say you or
I'll put it down, but if
Miria
it doesn't
could
look
do
like
it.
it's going to listen, I'm going to pick it back up.
That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. You kind of tell it, stay, and it sort of looks at you and kind of sits down and then sort of lays down and...
Don't leave the ship.
I give him some scratches.
He kind of does a little head thing where he
I'll
leans
give
up
him a
into it.
little more food, too.
Okay. He starts to eat on the food in front of him.
I just
Stay
And I want to look around.
Let's go.
I looked at Dex. I'm not kidding. I'm keeping this cat.
You're not keeping this cat?
No, I said I'm not kidding. I'm keeping this cat.
I thought that was obvious.
Just making sure. I need someone to back me up if anyone tries to fight it.
I'll back you up.
Thank you.
Epic Adventures of Coda versus the cat.
Which can be the real ship pest. All right.
Don't you have a bunch of random creatures in one of the Knights of the Old Republic?
What's up?
Don't you have a bunch of pests running around in one of your ships one of the ships in Knights of the Old Republic?
Gizka. Little reptilian creatures would jump on your ship.
Yes.
In Jedi Fallen Order, there's this big fluffy bunny thing that gets into your ship and hides in the vents and under floorboards and stuff. You can just see it around the ship.
Oh, goodness.
It just peeks around corners and then you look at it and it'll disappear. It's really cute, actually.
Okay. Once it looks like the cat's gonna stay,
The cat seems to start falling asleep. It starts laying its head down.
Oh.
Or curling up. Wraps its tail around.
Yep. Miria's immediately in love. Now she's leaving.
Alright, so you guys exit the ship, and you're in the forest. It's pretty, almost snowy. More snow here than there was on the ground, but not terribly a lot. What do you do?
What you gonna do when you...
Would I know of the caves at all, or?
I would say it is a little more well known, and you might know that there are more caves in this region, but where specifically, no.
Dex, do you wanna send Fate?
I was just about to say that. I can send Fate to do a look around.
Okay.
Oh, Kota, you're actually using common sense.
How
I'm talking
far,
smart.
where are you sending him ahead? Or are you sending him up into the woods?
I'm sending him
Into the woods too?
a little up, so he gets a little bit more of an aerial view,
Okay.
and then kind of out and around, kind of start scanning the area before we set out
Okay. Yep.
to
go
get
ahead.
an idea.
Roll a perception check for your droid.
All right, that is let's see, perception is wisdom, so that was a 18.
18? Okay. As he's looking around, you're sort of facing a western direction in the way your ship is facing, and so looking towards the east, the mountains start to go a little more down, and he does make out sort of the tops of what looks to be another small city, possibly House Alda. After there's a valley in this particular section of the continent, and towards more of the west, it starts to go a little higher and makes out what could be the entrances to caves.
All right, I will start leading everyone in that direction and having him continue basically doing, mainly staying in front of us, but also kind of checking the sides to make sure nothing's coming to approach us.
Are there any tracks, anything that is discernible as we're making our way forward in the snow?
Make a survival check.
Can I assist with that?
Sure, go ahead. Roll with advantage. Wait, where did I close it?
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Shayla.
Oh wait. No.
Yep.
19.
19?
Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second. 19, I would say you do see there's some like local animal tracks and stuff like that. As you go, you do make out a couple of humanoid tracks heading up in the direction you guys are going.
Okay.
Oh man, my Pathfinder stuff doesn't really help me with this. I'm basically a ranger, but none of my stuff really helps me with this.
Okay.
Are you going stealthy? Like, do you want to not make a big scene? Or...
It might be on the better idea to do that, just in case.
Yeah, it might not hurt.
My inclination.
Okay. You guys want to make a stealth check? Everyone roll stealth. Give me a group stealth roll.
Good at stealth.
Not great at all.
I'm not good at stealth.
Oh,
This is sounding
I
great.
don't think we're gonna be particularly stealthy because I didn't roll very well.
Natural 20.
That is, that's pretty good. That's
We're at
pretty
a total
good.
of 23.
Hey, not bad.
stealthy while you're crunching through the snow.
Alright, we're going to start with you.
21.
21?
12.
8.
Oh, gosh.
7.
Natural 20.
Natural
23.
20. Yep.
Lindsay?
8.
Spencer?
7.
Oh my
Shayla?
19.
Okay.
That's the highest you rolled for stealth.
It's like
Ow.
average.
I'd say you guys are going, but it's harder to be a little... Some of the snow is pretty crunchy and hides sticks and things like that. You follow these steps up for a little ways towards the top. When, after, say, about 15-20 minutes following these tracks, you, let's say, what's your marching order, by the way?
Be in the front with Dex.
Okay, Dex and Ravrii in the front. I would assume you're towards the front as well because you were doing the survival check. Okay.
I'm probably in the middle.
Middle.
Take the back.
Back.
I'm gonna have my blaster carbine out as well. Just
Your carbine or your sniper?
my carbine right now.
Okay.
I'll be in the middle too.
Middle. Alex, where are you?
I'll be up towards the front.
Okay, up towards the front. All right. So there's a group of you in the front. Let's see. I'm gonna say just past Dex's head. There is a and as there's a blaster bolt swoops by your head and hits the snow behind you.
Great.
And you hear a voice. That's far enough.
Do
Pull
we
off my
see where
card.
it came from?
Make a perception check.
I immediately get my sonic rifle out.
I pull down my scarf and I try to see where it came from.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you
For
do
23.
23. Okay. Ravrii, make a perception check of your own because you're behind. So
Perception?
Can I also look around and see what I can see here?
also make a perception. Actually,
Oh,
yeah, make a perception check.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Sheila.
no, sorry.
No.
Total of 2. No, 4. Just kidding, 4.
Perception. That's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say at this point, since she fired, you can see. The two of you look, and in the direction of the blast, it's over, slightly to the left, up. You can see the glint of the sun off of a sniper rifle, and you see you more than Aetop, I'd say. The familiar look of Montrose off a red-skinned Togruta female lying prone, aiming down a scope at you guys.
I just hold my hands up. We mean no ill intent. We come in peace. Please do not fire.
Who are you here with?
We're here on behalf of, are we here? Is it House Organa? Is that what we're here?
Yeah.
We're here on behalf of House Organa. don't know if that means anything to you, or might have just signed our own death warrant. I don't know.
Not your own death warrants, but we're not exactly friends to them either.
We're looking for someone.
Can I turn it to the sound of the voice? Like, can I see where she's looking to yell at
At
the
this point,
bully?
you look back at Miria. I almost called you Byra. Your names are too similar. You look back at Miria, you look in the direction she's looking, and you can see the person.
Do you know who Ravrii is?
Depends who's asking.
Her sister.
You see the head, and you see the montrals are a bit, longer, and so they kind of stick up. She didn't mention she had a sister.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Make a persuasion check.
Dang it! Come on.
You can do it.
Can I give a temporary boost?
Sure.
Add a d4.
Can I give her advantage and just say she's been away from home for a while, so it might not have come up in conversation.
I would say yes, but she's already rolled.
Oh,
so.
okay.
20.
25?
She didn't need it.
Okay, you didn't need it.
She good. She Gucci.
Good on you for trying to help.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No funny business.
No jokes.
I'm watching you. Come up here slowly.
I will go forward.
Watch him closely.
Alright. All of you, come here.
Okay.
You can see that she's still aiming down the scope.
I'm still keeping my rifle out.
I've got my hands up. I'm just inching forward.
Okay. As you inch forward, she's, this Tagruta, she's about, looks to be early 30s. Full-grown montrals. She stands up.
A little older than me.
Dressed for the cold weather, but nothing particularly fancy. And I would say the two of you recognize she's holding an Imperial rifle. Sort of an Imperial model style sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm watching you. She kind of gestures towards the mountain. Get walking. I'll tell you where to go.
I walk forward.
Alright.
As we walk past, can I look at her and be like, "Nice shot. You pulled a little far to the left, though."
She just kind of chuckles. Actually, Spencer. Let's see.
She shoots you.
How about this?
Spencer, roll another lore check for me, real quick.
Square.
Come on, roll better this time. We'll roll better. Woo, that's okay. That's a 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an 18.
Okay. Given your background as well, you do recognize that the model of rifle she's holding is an Imperial model.
Not a bad rifle, but you could get better.
Oh, we will. Don't worry. She starts to lead you along and directing you guys from the back with the rifle still pointed at you. She'll tell you to go left or go right, and you make your way higher towards the mountains, and eventually you do come across the entrance to a cave. It's not that far away, but it's kind of a switchbacky little walk to get up there. And as you get to the cave, she moves forward and says, "Wait here a second." Pull my list. Hang on. She calls in, "Taff! We got
Rush the cave.
got visitors from House Organa, one of whom claims to be Zutri's sister." You see a man walk out. Human man.
Is this like a man or is this a man?
It's a man.
Is Coda looking?
Walks out with pretty well cut hair.
Question, it's that.
He walks out what appears to be slightly nicer clothing, but worn in a way that's like if it was a suit. It's unbuttoned, looks a little dirty, and the sleeves have been torn off.
I'm hearing rugged and sexy.
Yeah, kind of a rugged, but he's not terribly
sleeves
sexy.
are bullcrap.
Yeah.
See,
So he's a
Sleeps
man,
in
man.
this economy.
He's like, he looks, and his eyes immediately fall on Ravrii. He's like, I would say if anyone was her sister, it would be that one there. She's a dead ringer for her, too.
Is she here?
Depends on why you're here.
To find my sister.
You were sent by House Organa. You here to, what, try to take her back?
I just want to know her side of the story. Personally.
And her parents are worried.
Yes,
oh, well,
my
of
parents
course they
are
are.
worried.
Now they're
Of course.
worried, aren't they? Always funny how they're always worried after the fact, aren't they? Alright. Fine, I'll let you talk to her. He leads you in, and the Togruta female falls in behind you guys. And you walk in, and the cave is only minorly lit by a couple of lamps along the way, and it kind of twists back. And eventually come to a larger space in the cave where you see total of... There's only 4 other people in here. There's some supply crates acting as tables, and some people are sitting on them.
Any, like, heating generators?
There are a couple of heating lamps, yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be like...
Bedrolls.
They might not let you near them, though.
There are a couple that are being unused. There are heating generators, some bedrolls near them, and what appear to be like stacks of weapons, all Imperial made for those who would easily identify that. And towards the back, well, the man Taff calls out, "Zutri, got someone here to see you." And she turns around and you see Zutri, and I completely forgot to copy down the description of her into my notes here, so I'll pull up what I was sent. So she's about 5'4". She's sort of on the skinny side, but she's got a little bit of muscle to her. Very curly hair, looks very difficult, and especially out here in the wilderness, looks like it hasn't been properly done in a while. It's red hair, and again, face and tattoos and structures very similar to Ravrii. She looks over at you.
Hey, sis. What you doing?
What's that?
I quickly, like, kind of get into her, like, 10 years and that's how you greet her? Really?
I elbowed her.
No. I'm with her on this one. 10 years? With nothing? And now you just show up? Why?
There's a lot of complicated story to that.
Oh, I'm sure there is, yeah. So complicated you couldn't bother to, call me at some point?
Maybe.
You know how Mom and Dad are.
Just gonna grab a bag of rations.
Sure, fine, yeah. It's Mom and Dad's fault. Sure, that's how it is.
I talk to you privately.
Fine, sure. Yeah, let's go outside. It's less echoey out there, at least for the rest of them to hear.
Echo.
She looks to the Togruta. Shina, make sure none of them follow us. Listen. And she just kind of nods. Looks over y'all. She leads you outside. Just kind of looking out over the trees towards the valley.
To give you a lecture, but I know that won't help, and obviously you have more reason to be angry with me than I do with you.
She just kind of rolls her eyes, looks around.
I got involved in something I shouldn't have. If I came home, it would have gotten you, Mom and Dad killed.
So dramatic.
You have no idea.
No, I'm sure I don't. I've only been in the middle of a civil war for the last 10 years. One that you conveniently left for.
I didn't know it.
Well, obviously not, but would have been nice to have someone around.
I wasn't allowed to contact you.
Alright, fine.
The
You
training
stick-
that I underwent was strict and closely watched by some very scary people. If I had tried to reach out in any way, they would have killed me.
Alright, fine. If that's your story, then whatever. Why are you here?
Because there's a bounty out.
Of course there is. Mom and Dad couldn't find me themselves, so what, they hire you?
They didn't know it was me.
Okay, so they just generally put out a call and hope somebody with a decent enough heart would try to find me? Because they care so much about me now?
I hate politics just as much as you. That's one of the reasons I left.
Well, it's not even just the politics anymore. This whole thing, it's ridiculous. You don't know what Mom and Dad were like after the war started. It started becoming important. And eventually they just had no time for me. And you know how Dad is about when people disagree with him, so couldn't voice my opinions whenever they were around. Do you know what it's been like? Of course you don't. You weren't here. 10 years. 10 years and nothing. The Republic? Completely useless. They lost the first war. Why did we ever expect them to be able to win this one? No one seems to care. Except for them. She gestures back into the cave. They want to do something about it. And we are doing something about it.
What are they?
Say that again?
Just
Cut
putting
out.
yourself in. I said, who are they and what are you doing? What is your goal?
We're the Loyalists. Freeing Alderaan. That's what we're doing. The Republic's useless. They try to play by the rules. The Empire doesn't play by the Republic's rules. That's how they won the last war.
Weapons.
Say that again?
How did Imperial weapons?
By killing Imperials. How else do you get Imperial weapons?
Oh my gosh.
Destroying their caravans. In fact, we're planning an ambush right now.
No!
Yes.
Dutry. This is a bad idea.
It's worked so far. It's more than the Republic is doing. Trying to
You're
solve
going-
everything diplomatically. Dad's been on Coruscant trying to figure out ways to do this the right way. And that's gotten us nowhere in 10 years. Colonel Malcolm, he's a good guy, but his hands are tied. He can't do a whole lot. I figured... Did you say something?
No, she's conflicted. It's,
Mm-hmm.
she looks like she wants to say something.
Look, I started having these feelings a long time ago. Eventually I met some people here that shared my opinions on it. And you know, we're doing something about it. We're convincing people all over the planet to rise up and fight back for Alderaan.
You're going to convince people to get themselves killed.
It's the price of war. Something the Republic doesn't understand. House Organa never does. They're all about false promises and politics. Trying to do things according to the book. Well, their empire doesn't play by that book.
No.
They know what needs to be done to win a war, and so we need to do the same.
You don't want to be like the Empire. You don't want to be anything like them.
It's the only thing that's going to win.
Is there any way that I can convince you to not do this by giving you a con that can maybe help provide you what you need without killing Imperials or getting yourself in harm's way?
What could you possibly have to offer me that you would think would help this?
Have you ever heard of a man called Castilius Zahn?
Name rings a bell. Maybe Dad mentioned it at some point.
I believe that he could provide you with resources, weapons, without you having to go out and attack a military vehicle.
And what exactly would I be doing with these weapons besides attacking military vehicles? 'Cause that's exactly what we're doing here. Imperial patrols and convoys move all the time. And we do small things here and there, but you know what? We're gaining speed.
You don't know what the Empire will do to you if you're captured.
We won't be. We've evaded them this long. They don't know this place like we do.
They're going to find you. They don't take prisoners, and if they do take prisoners, you're going to wish you were dead.
You know, I'd rather die fighting than sitting in an estate, in a mansion, basically. Going off of false promises from politicians on worlds light years away from here. They don't give a damn whether about we live or die.
You get yourself killed.
I think I'm okay with that at this point. Mom and Dad were away so long, I don't even know if they would care sometimes. They had so little time for me. It's amazing that they care this much now.
Sutri, despite what you may think of me, I do care.
I might have believed that once. You'll have to convince me that you do.
What, by helping you attack this convoy?
That's a really good idea, actually. If you're so concerned, you've got how many friends in there? We're able to take with it just the 6 of us. Imagine what we can do with you guys, too. With a cakewalk.
That's up to them.
Well, you can. It's gonna take a lot to convince me to come home if that's what Mom and Dad sent you out here to do.
They just want to know if you're alive.
Well, I'm alive. And I'm where I'm supposed to be. What was that?
She just kind of to herself, I'm gonna get myself killed. Well, I can't just let you do this on your own. I'm not after knowing what is going on.
It's funny, usually you're the one getting me into trouble.
I know. Isn't this a change? I can tell you, I haven't stopped getting myself into trouble.
Well, I can believe that.
Alright, let's go talk to the others. Give us the information you have about this convoy, and we'll decide where to go from there.
Okay. As the two of you walk back into the cave, we are going to call the session for tonight.
Oh my gosh.
And discuss next time whether or not you participate in the ambush.
Oh, frick.
Shoot.
Big sister helping little sister out on adventure.
Committing war crimes.
War crimes.
Best kind of crap.
I know you want it.
We've grown up and saving China.
My little baby out to destroy people.
Alright, well, thank you everyone who is here with us tonight and for watching. Thank you for all those who participated in the chat. And again, be sure if you're catching this in the future, even right now if you're here and aren't following us, please follow us We're working to, we want to build a community of nerds, people who want to come here and talk about and experience things that they love. Tabletop gaming, Star Wars, God of War, video games, all the stuff that we want to do on this channel. We want to build a community of people who just love doing this. So please follow us. Follow us on Instagram as well at the NerdHerd90s. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check it out. We're doing 10 Days of Mordor in preparation for Thankmas. And please, please, please join us for Thankmas. We are all going to post about it and tell everyone we know about Thankmas. We want to reach $1,000 as our grand goal. If we can reach more than that, we'll be so, so grateful.
And thank you, Mama Petrie.
Yes, and thank you always, Mama Petrie, for being so invested in everything that we do here. And glad you can experience it live for the first time. So, thank you guys for your support in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here.
And we'll be back next week.
We will be back next week. Next week is Thankmas, and we will cap it off with another stream where we will see what happens at the ambush if they decide to go through with the ambush. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.